Thank you, Kate, and welcome to the nation's capital, everyone, as the Montreal Alouettes come in. The top team in the Canadian Football League off a tie?
What?
Coming in off a tie, and the Ottawa REDBLACKS, they come here back to TD Place where they have not lost so far this season. Marshall Ferguson, Matt Dunnigan, Kenzie Lalonde down at field level for us here throughout the afternoon. It's a great matchup, but there's no player on the field who wants to have a better start than Drew Brown in his return.
Absolutely, and it's good to start fast when you're at home, particularly when you're going up against this team and the performance he had last week, getting pulled. Frankly, I would have pulled him in the second quarter. It was going that bad for him. But he's got to go up against a couple of studs in Sankey and Beverett that are going to make life difficult for him. And yeah, it's going to be, everybody's looking forward to this one.
Jason Moss, he said he a little bit of maturity in his career, came away from the tie thinking, yeah, we've got an opportunity here. We get a single point. Wouldn't have felt that way about 5 years ago. And Bob Dice, he is a big believer in a tested, beaten up, battered defense. They will be young at linebacker here today against Cody Fajardo and the Montreal Alouettes, but it was Montreal calling tails. They won the toss, deferred, and so Ottawa will receive to get things going. Thanks for being with us, the CFL on CTV here on a beautiful Ottawa Saturday afternoon as it's returned by Brandon Dandridge across the 30 to the 35, and out comes Drew Brown after getting pulled from the game last week in Hamilton.
Yeah, I've seen it many times, and sometimes just not your day. And last week, and if you look back on it from what happened last night, you're up against a team that's hot right now in the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and they made the young quarterback look average last week, and he's looking to turn that around here this afternoon.
11 touchdowns, 6 interceptions on the season for Drew Brown. Montreal begins with a 3-man front, and they'll run against it right away. Nice chunk that time as the Ottawa starting offense looks like this as they get a nice push up front.
Yeah, you heard the boys talk about it. Jim Barker talking about center starting at left tackle. Yeah, that keep your eye on that. Certainly Ruby at right tackle. Got to protect Drew. Leaborn. Hey, this Leaborn kid is the real deal. He likes to think he's all three-facet type of player. In Rhymes, he's coming in hot, twice over 100 yards in the last 2 games. Coach
Starzala filling in nicely at center for the injured Cyril Hogan St. Don, who's still out here today. They go back to the running game. It is Leyburn off the left-hand side, picks up the first down, so back-to-back running plays. And Darnell Sankey finishes it off, but not before Leyburn can get himself 10 yards.
Yeah, just get out here and hit it, and he finds a sweet hole, dips and rips, and lowers his shoulder, and it's a great way to start. Had great conversation with this kid a couple days ago, and he's just he's grateful for the opportunity to work really hard. Says he's a great listener, and I love that. Got a lot to learn in this game, and he's learning fast.
Corner Nafis Leon had to come in and help Sankey out all the way down inside the box that time, as now they'll flip it out in the passing game. It's Leyburn once again to the sideline, trying to run away from Sankey, and he's chopped down. Here's the Alouettes starting defense.
Yeah, I think it starts up front with this guy right here. He just does the yeoman's work, oftentimes taking 2, and he gets to the quarterback, stops the run, he does it all. And then Cosby, one of those guys you don't hear a lot about because you hear about Sankey and Beverett all the time, but he's playing some good Sam linebacker for him. In the back end, you got Hamlin, who's making his second start. I'm trying to weed him out and see what he's made of on that back end.
In this set, they will send Leyburn all the way to the wide receiver spot. Justin Hardy at back, and then he flips out. They try to go underneath, up in the air, and it is nearly intercepted as the defensive line for the Alouettes will get themselves a stop with Richie Leone, the punter, coming off the sideline. Let's see who got a hand up and knocked it up.
Yeah, that's Mustafa Johnson, 94, getting his hand up there, and he just moves to his left here, just goes right here to the left, and can't get to him, so he puts that big left mid up in the air, rips him down, and that's the way you get off the football field.
Johnson nearly caught it himself as well. So Leone punts this one away, drops down to James Letcher Jr., and it's inside the 5 all the way to the 1, and they pin him right in the corner, tackled inside the 10-yard line as Cody Fajardo with some difficult starting field position here. In his first position as he leads the CFL in completion percentage, nearly 75% so far this season. Got a long day and a big challenge ahead of him coming up next. 13 touchdowns, 6 interceptions on the season for Cody Fajardo. 6-2 with that one tie hanging right there. That extra little one at the end. Both these teams have ties on the season, but
never going to shake that tie.
Fajardo wanted to get the victory last week on the road in Calgary. Unable to do it. They get the single point. Now they play on the road here again, but tons of Alouettes hands in the house here today at TD Place. First snap for the Alouettes. They'll hand it off to Walter Fletcher and hits a wall right there. That defensive line and even defensive backs flying in like Damon Weber are going to have to be huge today with this young defensive back group.
Yeah, keep an eye making his 13th start, 14th start. Donovan at right tackle. So right tackle, left tackle, no matter what team you're looking at, keep your eye on them. It's going to be important. Julian Grant coming back from injury. Spent some time on the IL. Always good to get a player maker like that. Fletcher didn't see any daylight on that first run due to that gap cancellation run defense by the REDBLACKS.
Pressure on here from Ottawa. Fajardo back pedals, throws it high in the air. It's tipped up for grabs, and it falls to the turf. Incomplete. Brandon Dandridge is the one that saw it the cleanest and thought he might have had a shot.
Yeah, just bring him. Just bring him. Bring the house. Yeah, they're all coming downhill, baby. Let's go. Go, go, go. All of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. All of them. Just get after it. Get to the quarterback. I don't know. I guess it was Bennett Williams who got a little hand on it. That ball went straight up in the air.
First year out of Oregon. He gets the start at Sam today for this Ottawa defense under Baron Miles because of Darius Pickett out for the season. So it's a 2-and-out, and Montreal will have to punt this one away. As Joseph Zima lights into one. It'll drop down Eli Stove at the 55. Starting in positive field position already are the Ottawa REDBLACKS, and Drew Brown. He will appreciate that. Great opportunity here for Ottawa to put some points on the board early on, and Drew Brown to establish himself once again consistently as the starter of this club after getting pulled last week. Brown last week playing on the road in Hamilton as the Tiger Cats heat up. Another victory last night against the Toronto Argonauts, but it was a not terrible day for Drew Brown, but man, you just thought that he didn't really have it in this ball game, and at the end of the day, Bob Dice agreed, pulling in for Jeremiah Masoli.
Well, I can tell you, if you play long enough, you're going to have days like that. I can tell you this, I've had worse days than that and not been pulled. But I was standing there on the sidelines. I would have pulled him earlier. Yeah, he just wasn't seeing it well, and I know he's a strong enough young man to get back after it and ride.
Rip it to the sideline this time. Justin Hardy adds to his tremendous pace for the Ottawa REDBLACKS as Drew Brown in the mentality of not wanting to change, trying to take some shots this season, and also Bob Dice telling us this week he's got to be able to work through the good and the bad, and this quote from earlier on this week really does support the fact that they believe in Drew Brown as the starter, despite the fact Jeremiah Masoli actually has the highest quarterback efficiency rating of any of the three that have played this year here in the nation's capital between Crum, Masoli, and Drew Brown. But this is their guy for the playoff push, which will obviously involve a matchup against the Montreal Alouettes. At some point, you have to think. Today, a playoff preview as this one's intercepted. Going the other way, Deontay Ruffin. Nobody in front of him, and the Alouettes DB will stare down the REDBLACKS bench all the way for 6.
Fourth interception. Timing route, just a little hitch. Receiver falls, and Ruffin says, thank you for his 4th of the year. Walk in. Play's going to happen on your right-hand side of your screen watching this. Ball's out. Receiver kind of falls, coming out of his break. That's Miller. And it's basically just a waltz into the end zone for Ruffin, loosening up here in the first quarter.
Fabian Ento with the best seat in the house points his finger towards the end zone and waits it out as we saw a bunch of pick sixes, 2 of them in the first quarter of Chad Kelly for the Ottawa defense when they were here at home last. And now we see a pick 6 on the same field, but it's not for the home side. It's the Road Warriors. The Montreal Alouettes, an 80-yard interception return for touchdown by Deontay Ruffin.
one of the year. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and he's right here. Watch him do his thing. And he comes out of the break, and the ball's delivered, and it's not clean. He slips right there, right over the top of his head. Ruffin gets his 4th. That's the 13th for this defense on the year. And the team that scores first, Montreal's pretty good when they score first now. Yeah. 7-1. That's not bad.
As a quarterback,
I'll take that.
Matty, it makes you sick when you really didn't do anything wrong. We were just talking about Drew not wanting to change his mentality. He was just trying to put it on his receiver, falls, slips. You've probably had a bunch of those of receiver loses his footing. What are you going to do? You put it in the right spot, but it still costs you 6.
Yeah, I'm a receiver coach. I'm a coach a kid up. You know, you don't have to turn your back on a quarterback there and slip coming out of a break because it's just a sit down. You know where you're going to be. Just plant your inside foot and pivot back like you're posting up in basketball, and you have better vision, never lose your feet. But that's one of those things where, you don't anticipate that as a quarterback. You have to deal with it, set your jaw, get back out there.
Eli Stove returns it as Ottawa gets possession back and held up before the whistles will go as Drew Brown. One of the worst things that you can do, obviously, in a CFL game that hurts your team, a pick 6, and has to overcome that. But as I say, Bob Dice did say he's got to work through the good and the bad. Well, this is certainly the bad, even if it isn't on him.
Yeah, I mean, he's 9-5-1 in his career. I mean, it's not many opportunities. And you've heard me say it once, I've said it a lot. You have to play the game to learn the game. I don't know if you're taking much away from that. You know, what can I learn from that? A guy fell down.
Right.
Okay, well, and maybe you coach your receiver up and
looks like David
figure out a better way to get her done.
David Dallaire is down, and so we will take a break as they look at the young, talented fullback out of Laval and return to Ottawa right after this. There is Drew Brown in the huddle coming off a game limited to 164 yards against Hamilton, as we said last week. But he has been really, really good at home so far this season, nearing 2,000 passing yards in just 7 starts.
Yeah, 6-0-1 home. Hadn't lost, didn't know how to lose here. I mean, he's going to have to fight through some adversity. And quite frankly, Montreal, people that are making it tough on him right now, they're outstanding on the road as they're undefeated away from their park. So something's got to give.
4 receivers to the right of Brown. He'll hand it off. Leyburn tries to cut it back. Wrapped up. Nice defensive play that time. It looks like Wesley Sutton firing down from his boundary halfback position.
Yeah, I mean, he makes a nice play. But well, he felt the brunt of that one as Leyburn just lowers the hammer right there.
A late flag on the play. Playoff preview, high intensity, great crowd, wonderful weather here in Ottawa. Some chirping after the last special teams play between Alexander Gagne and Marco Dubois as they were going to battle with each other between the benches for a couple of seconds.
10-yard misconduct penalty. Montreal, number 94. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Wow. So jot that one down. Mustafa Johnson with a misconduct.
Oh, wow. That's, yeah, it's typically something that Montreal, they play pretty clean football. And they win a lot of games by playing that way and being patient offensively and certainly defensively as well.
Brown play action, flips around. Isaac Adeyemi Berglund does a great job fighting through the blocker. It is a completion to the outside. Justin Hardy just keeps racking up the receiving yards this season. Over 1,000. Second straight year, by the way, he's gone over 1K.
Yeah, and watch Mustafa Johnson right here, number 94, as he's completely fooled on the play. And that's where your teammates come in and forces the issue for a short gain. And sometimes it's like that. Give them credit. They're working those play fakes and those sallies and extensions of plays all the time to fool those big boys up front.
Drew Brown kills the first play, goes to the second at the line. Pressure on for Montreal. Brown has time over the middle. Hardy another, and it's a first down for the Red Blacks once again. There's a little bit of friendly fire between the Alouettes and the secondary, but a gain of 20 for Ottawa.
Yeah, right here, one of my favorites, Justin Hardy. True pro, everybody talks about it, and he gets deeper than the defender right there. Sankey comes around and timing throw right in the hole, throw him open. that pass right there can set a quarterback into a great day of confidence when he's seeing it like that. Throw it with timing, anticipation, stick it on him. Big time play from Hardy, which we've seen a lot of this year.
Yeah, and everybody knows, of course, the background of his record-setting career at East Carolina. And so he comes to the CFL after a stint with the Atlanta Falcons in the NFL, makes some big plays as Arthur Hamlin is down on the field. Looks like the knee of Jeffrey Canton-Arcou, the talented first-rounder, might have caught Hamlin as he was trying to make his way to Hardy for the tackle. And Jason Moss watching on with not that much depth right now in the secondary for the Montreal Alouettes, with Marc-Antoine Dequoy and his all-around playmaking already out of the lineup for the Alouettes, as we get a look at Arthur Hamlin.
Just a little friendly fire. Oof. Right on the right knee.
Got the stiff arm, unfortunately, from Canton-Arcou, and then the knee. So Hamlin to the sideline, and what will Montreal do with their secondary? As I say, didn't dress a backup free safety here today. Only other defensive back that they have dressed in the lineup right now is Lorenzo Burns. And so they shuffle the back end. Looks like Bryce Cosby. Yeah, Bryce Cosby's going to move back. And they'll move around some linebackers to replace Cosby. As Drew Brown hands it off inside, Leyburn on first down, going nowhere. And that is Lowell Uguak. Back into the lineup, back in the CFL after a stint with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and a tackle right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he just folds back inside, and he makes Leyburn right in the hole. And pretty big mismatch right there. Uguak's going to win that one every time. Boy, just a great get, much like last year when they got Lemon and Sankey to fill some voids in late in the season, midway through the season. It just worked out perfectly for him.
Brown steps up in the pocket, looks downfield, Canton-Arcou, an interception, the second of Drew Brown in the first quarter.
Like that, 14 for the Montreal Alouettes defense. Feasting on Drew Brown early here in the first quarter. Getting it done.
That's the way, right there. You know he's going to throw it to him.
Yeah, sometimes you don't have to get to the quarterback. Just get traffic and then interrupt his vision. And watch Mustafa Johnson. He's right here in the middle over the center. Watch him work. He doesn't give up on the play. He's going to get blocked initially, move to his right, kind of rip and pull, and then he gets in his face and clouds the vision of Drew Brown, and he doesn't see the defender walk in front of the football. Second here in the first 8 minutes of this ball game. Montreal's defense is feasting early.
For Canton-Arcou, the 9th overall selection in this year's draft. He's been a playmaker all year long as the Alouettes have cashed in on another first-round pick. And he gets his first career interception. He will remember that one. For a little jog down the field to celebrate.
You work hard for those opportunities, and that one's got to feel good. Beautiful day. TD Place, playing your arch rival. Get you number one.
Only had one interception in his entire collegiate career at Memphis. He's got one in the CFL now. As to the outside, it's Charleston Rambo making his way to the 31-yard line as we look at the Ottawa starting defense that is very young at linebacker today.
Yeah, Michael Wakefield, who is not young. He is a veteran.
Whoa, he's not old either.
No, he's an outstanding player. Florida International, 7 years in the league. Bennett Williams replacing certainly Pickett, who's going to be missed dearly. Best of luck there. Darius getting in back end. Damon Webb, up-and-comer, making plays left, right, and center for that REDBLACKS defense.
Montreal, looks like they want to throw it outside, but taken away by the REDBLACKS defense. And so Fajardo tucks and runs, tries to pick up what he can on second down. Flag comes out. Some pushing and shoving from Brandon Dandridge on the outside with Charleston Rambo, as well as they acquaint themselves for a potential playoff matchup in a couple of months.
Huh. It could happen. Yeah, I mentioned Damon Webb. Highlight. Marshall, I know you have a little affiliation with Marshall University down in right? And
My Thundering Herd.
Right. And Damon Webb, where is he from?
Ohio State.
Right. And How'd that work out?
Rough day for the Thunder.
Okay, there it is.
Montreal, number 85. 15 yards from the end of the play, and it'll be third down.
And so Montreal will have to kick it away as we see the screen taken away.
Yeah.
Reminds me a lot of that peel back called on Sam Emelis last night, where it's like, you used to love that play, but
I think that was a close one last night with Emelis. I think there was an argument there that it could have gone both ways. I think that one was even closer. It's not like he suckered him.
Zima kicks it away. 2 interceptions of Drew Brown, but the only points on the board are from the defense right now with that pick 6 by Deontay Ruffin. The Alouettes offense struggling to get things off the ground here in Ottawa. As Brown wearing number 3, but he's got a pair of interceptions. Here's what they look like.
Yep, a little slip right here. You saw the receiver turn his back on his quarterback. He falls down. Ruffin takes it to the house for his 4th of the season. And then here, clouded vision by Mustafa Johnson getting his face, and Arku gets one and his first one. And that's the difference in this ball game, because the REDBLACKS have started with great field position, 35, and inside in their own territory. And then here on the 52, I'll take those starting field positions all day.
Jeremiah Mosoli watches on from the sideline. 3rd career pick 6, by the way, of Drew Brown when Ruffin took it to the house earlier on, and they are trying to get the wheels turning with Kalen Laybourne and see what they can create with this ground attack that has certainly been resurgent this season, whether it's been, recall, Armstead, who's now in Saskatchewan, or here with Laybourne.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of meat you're discarding right there in that first initial contact as he bounces off of Wiggins, veteran player, defensive lineman, outweighs him by about 100 pounds. He got 2-3 more afterwards.
Bob Dice said the first thing he noticed was the downhill running of Laybourne. Loved it. And now Jalen Ackland tries to put his shoulder down and go get the first down. See where they spot it. Looks like, yeah, it'll be good enough by about 1.5 yards.
Yeah, and, you know, we've got bird's eye view up here, and Jalen gets this, and he decides to go out and around, runs out of room in a hurry, but enough to get the first down. Good choice. Lives to play another play. Jalen Ackland, most versatile guys. I mean, you see these guys in our league all over the place. They can run after the catch. They got sweet hands. They block for you. They run the football. What you need.
Now they'll try to flip it on a little reverse. It goes to Hardy. He's got some running room. Mustafa Johnson, somehow from his defensive tackle spot, was all the way out near the numbers to help bring down Justin Hardy. But a Tommy Condell, the offensive coordinator for the REDBLACKS, classic little inside fake and end around.
And this, you know, kind of slow up that defense a little bit, stretch them, make their eyes a little not acclimated, but I'm trying to figure out how Mustafa Johnson got out there so quickly and what he's, look at that effort. My God.
You and me both.
That is like 300 plus flying to the football. I'm glad I'm up here, not down there.
Inside run, 2nd and 2. And it looks like Laybourne will have enough to move the sticks once again. That defensive line you mentioned, Uguak back into the fold. Mustafa Johnson right there. Obviously Dylan Wynn in it as well. 4 sacks from Isaac Adeyemi Berglund. At defensive end, they got a bunch of talent, and they can roll bodies through in different packages because they dress a whole bunch of them.
See a lot of that across the league now, too. And it's a great idea to keep those big boys fresh.
Pressure look from the Owls. They bail out Brown on his back foot and missed that one way short of Laybourne, trying to use him in the passing game, but unable to connect.
Yeah, you know, he's so wide open. I don't know if the receiver's not looking, and he's like, look. And he throws it, and he throws an unsure ball because Laybourne's not looking, and the ball's thrown, and it's not even where we're close, and it's like, what the heck kind of throw was that?
Well, it leaves them with a lot of work to do here on 2nd and 10. For Montreal's 35, these offenses struggling early on. And Brown changed that here. Uguak pushing the pocket. Brown rolls to his right, looking for a receiver. Only has one available. It's caught there is a flag in the secondary as Jalen Acklin was laying on the ground. And I think it's going to go against the Alouettes. They'll likely decline and take the gain, as it is Miller for 18 on the play.
Miller does a nice job.
Illegal contact.
Back.
Montreal, number 26. Penalty is declined. First down.
You can watch Miller on the left side of your screen. Once Brown breaks contain on the right-hand side, he's just buying time here and looking, and Miller just flashes out. An easy throw and heads-up play. Got to finish this one here. Get back on track offensively if you're Drew Brown.
Tyrese Beverett got tangled up with Jalen Acklin, who initiated scramble rules. Beverett was reading his feet, and so they decline it. Brown rolls to his right again, rips this one, and Darnell Sankey from middle linebacker out there covering Jalen Acklin.
Yeah, everybody coming from left to right, trying to cross the quarterback's face, and it's a design play to get Brown on the run again. He's going to boot out to his right here and watch everybody come into play. Just trying to get in his face, flash, and Sankey runs with Acklin and almost undercuts it. Look, Drew Brown is 42% on the year in the red zone, 16-38 right here, and he's got to find the end zone here, get his team back on track.
The most Darnell Sankey thing possible is we're not even 13 minutes in and his jersey's completely ripped. Blitz coming here. Brown has to get rid of it. Looks to his right. Complete. Dominique Grimes bouncing off the tackler, but unable to get away from Nafis Leon, who brings him down short of the sticks, and the field goal unit comes off the sideline for the Red Blacks.
Yeah, here's the hottest receiver on the field right now coming into this ball game. A couple 100-yard plus games, big body, and Nafis Leon back in the lineup after being in the IR for quite some time. Makes a really nice open field tackle, forcing a field goal attempt.
As Lewis Ward continues to battle game over game for the all-time CFL field goal make percentage.
Amazing race we got going on.
Fires this one through. That's the 251st made field goal in Lewis Ward's career. Darius Pickett on the sidelines here today in Ottawa, as we go down to Kenzie Lalonde with more on the unfortunate loss of one of their leaders.
Well, one of the greatest, assets here for the Ottawa Redblacks this season has been intangible. It's their leadership, and right now they're experiencing one of the greatest threats to their leadership with the loss of Darius Pickett, who had surgery on his Achilles on Thursday, but he's going to be around this group as long as he can. And we heard from Mike Wakefield this week about this leadership within this group this season. It reminds him of the run they had in 2018 all the way to the Grey Cup and how these guys keep one another accountable. And you go back to 2018 and the season they had, tough start for the Redblacks. They went 6-5, but it was a leadership within the group that ran them all the way to 2018, and they'll look to do that again this season because a win for the Redblacks means they'll clinch a playoff spot.
Yeah, thank you, Kenzie, and definitely for Darius Pickett, a little bit of a sour feeling standing on the sidelines knowing how much he meant to this club, but this city took to him quickly. They love the energy that he brought onto the field. The party starter.
Yeah, easy to love. Easy to love. Guy leads by example, willing to do anything, play multiple positions. There he is with the white sunglasses on. Darius Pickett, like to say, party starter. Party stopper right there was Lozo Malden right there in that 1st and 10 run, shutting it down, much like Mustafa Johnson, the other 94 for the other team.
Holds it to a gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Fajardo pump steps up. Now we'll try to run away from the tacklers as they all converge. And Cody using the legs. Doesn't do it as much as he has in the past, but effective that time to move the sticks.
A lot of quarterbacks would have liked to have 36 rushes for 204 yards and 2 touchdowns, along a 30 coming in this ball game. And at his age, that's impressive. And he does not slide. He goes and gets it. That's why you love number 7, Cody Fajardo. Just a warrior.
First down for the Montreal Alouettes in this ball game. And it comes with 30 seconds left in this first quarter. Pressure on! Ball's on the ground. Winner, Gagnon. He fell on it.
Like almost on cue, Michael Wakefield. Yeah, just coming right over the left side, just bull rushes, gets underneath the pads. pads. And just hats off, man. That's just one. It gets running into pads of Lawrence, the center for Montreal, and creates that havoc, forcing the second and forever.
New career high for Mike Wakefield as Gagnon maintains possession. Fajardo goes to the screen game. Sean Thomas-Erlington in the ball game as he puts his shoulder down, crosses the 50, and gets it back into respectable territory here. But a tough first quarter for Drew Brown and the Red Blacks offense. They come away with a field goal after a pick six, a pair of interceptions for Brown. Cody Fajardo and the Alouettes offense starting to get things going as well, as playoffs on the line. Seeding and home field will hopefully determine some of that here today. The numbers after one quarter of play here in Ottawa, a little bit reminiscent, honestly, last year of a game right here between these two teams when Dustin Crum was the starting quarterback for the Ottawa Red Blacks and Noel Thorpe, defensive coordinator for the Alouettes, decided he was going to throw all sorts of crazy blitzes all over the place at Crum, try and confuse the young quarterback. Thorpe hasn't really thrown that much at the way of Drew Brown right now, but he is struggling to find his game.
Yeah. Pick six wasn't his fault. It happens in the game. Guy slips, guy takes to the house unabated. Next one, pressure. Credit the defense for making it cloudy in the young quarterback's face. He doesn't see where he's throwing it. It's undercut by our crew. Yeah, that happens. They've been on the field a lot more with good field position. They got 3 points to show for it. They're battling. You look at Montreal's offensive production, 1 first down. It's not like they're lining it up. That's just tip of the cap to the defenses for getting it done right now.
Sean Thomas-Erlington on the screen to end the first quarter. Couldn't get the first down, so Joseph Zima sends it away once again. Another beautiful punt. This one drops down, takes a side kick, and Eli Stove watches it skip out of the end zone as we take a look last week at Ottawa and the turnover troubles that they had that have kind of lurched back into their game here today at home.
5-2, lost that turnover battle in Hamilton. Seemed to be out of sync. Hamilton has a jump in their step. Look, Hamilton's playing much improved. I think this team's got hop in their step across the board. The addition of Chris Jones on the defensive side of the ball, I think, has helped them. And, yeah, so whether it's Jeremiah or whether it was Drew Brown out there, Hamilton's flying around making things happen. We saw what they did to Toronto for the 3rd time this year last night. It's now where you start, it's where you finish in this league. Edmonton, coming up after this ball game, be more of the same there for that football team.
Brown shows run, hands it off inside. Kalen Leyburn makes 2 men miss on the inside. That one looked dicey for a second as, again, Montreal's defensive front got a good jump off the line of scrimmage. Yeah,
well, just watch how quickly things happen up in front. You get a lead blocker up, pulling. It's a nice job. And getting hats and bodies, giving the opportunity for the running back to squeeze about 6.5 out of that one.
There's Antonio Moultrie.
Leading up there.
First year out of Miami. 6'4", 279, nearly made the play. Now he'll try to tackle Leyburn as he gets another touch. And right in the middle of it, Mustafa Johnson.
Yeah, Mustafa's just having a game. He's just doing what he does. He's right. You can't even see him here. He's right here. He's where he typically plays. Got one guy, he crosses his face. He just beats the center right across his face and says, too easy.
Easy work down there.
This is easy work. That's what he said. And like I said, too easy. You got to work that upfield shoulder and keep moving your feet. If the offensive line won't stop it, just beat him across his face. Made a play.
James Fletcher Jr. backpedals to his 10-yard line. Tries to make the first man miss. He does. It's Justin Howell, who is first down the field on coverage. Fletcher Jr.'s return held to as little as possible after a 51-yard punt. What a great day to watch the trenches as Mustafa Johnson leading this defensive line group, and a banged-up offensive line for the Ottawa Red Blacks, snap after snap, trying to sort out how to deal with 94.
Yeah, as well as a banged-up...
and 98 and 99 and 96. And
as well as, Ottawa's
well, the ball was in flight. We have a holding. Montreal, number 34. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
second level in our linebacking core. You heard Kenzie talk about Pickett being out and the leadership they lose there and the playmaking ability, no matter what position he's asked to play. You got Bennett Williams, you got Tyrone Verde, and you got Davion Taylor. And they're being helped out now by the defensive line play of the Red Blacks. And so many ways to get it done. We're seeing it here defensively.
Second time already in this ball game early in the second quarter that Fajardo starts from inside his own 10-yard line. This time flips it to the outside. Lamont will push Tyler Sneed out of bounds as the three linebackers for the Ottawa Redblacks filling in, rotating around. Davion Taylor kicks over to the weak side. Tyrone Vreda moving in, global player back healthy in the lineup. Bennett Williams moving down from his halfback spot to take over for Darius Pickett. They are shuffling the deck, Matty.
And, you know, talking before the ball game to that man right there, Baron Miles, we both like, it's just football. Go play and have fun. And Baron allows him to make mistakes, just want him to communicate and fly around and have a good time.
Javon Santos knocks on the sideline as well behind Baron Miles as Damon Webb came flying in to make the tackle here on second down, but there's a flag that came in from way back in the secondary. Bob Dice asking for an explanation.
Anything? Anyone? Bueller?
Justin McInnes is our referee here today. Number 67 you see there with the white cap. And Dice going for a walk down to the 20-yard line here to get a better look at the announcement and maybe even the conversation.
Yeah, was he limping there? Has he got a little hitch in his get along? Just watching him. And coaching ain't easy these days. Get in there.
There's no foul on the play.
There we go.
Third down.
Just like that. Problem solved. That was great complimentary football and defense right there. Everybody flying to the ball, rallying. Baron Miles got his group flying around, keeping this thing close after a couple turnovers here in the first quarter.
Ottawa able to get the stop here. Damon Webb, as we were all focused on the penalty and what it could have been.
Here we go.
Kind of lost the appreciation of Webb once again making a play from that secondary on the running game.
Looks like Red Blacks going to be in great field position once again here, Marshall. See what Eli Stove can get him.
Zima protected well. High spiraling boot will drive Stove back inside his own 40-yard line. Quickly tries to make his way forward. Crosses the 55 and nearly a 20-yard return after a 57-yard punt. The Ottawa Redblacks 8-4-1. Home cooking. It's been good to them. The second highest winning percentage in their 10-season history here. Trailing only a 12-6 mark back in 2015. Trying to make the playoffs for the first time since 2018 here today. Don't call it a comeback. Back like he never left in these red, white, and blue colors. Last year, 3 sacks in Lual-Uguak. Back in Alouettes threads. Let's go down to Kenzie Lalonde with more.
Yeah, Marshall, for the last 3 weeks, Lual-Uguak has been back home in Edmonton rehabbing his AC shoulder sprain that happened in his final preseason game with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But while he was home, he was football season, so he just had a chance to go back and catch up with his minor football program, the Edmonton Chargers. He had a long conversation with his head coach at the time, James Devine. He was about, 7, 8 years old when they first worked together through his entire minor football career, and they talked about how Lual was maybe not always the best player on the field. He had the greatest work ethic, and Lual-Uguak it allowed him to gain new perspective on where he's at his career now, and he'll always try and maintain to be the hardest working player on the field. And he feels what he learned during time with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's got some of the greatest game he can play right now. He's excited to showcase that to his team and to the CFL today.
He is a great player. I remember as soon as he got into the lineup in his rookie season last year, immediately it was just knockdowns and pressures and tackles for loss, and he was all over the place all of a sudden. And the craziest thing, we're talking about him pregame going, man, he's a big dude. He moves well. He's flexible. He's got quick hands, all this stuff. How does that dude not get on the field for TCU in his final year before he got drafted here at the Canadian Football League?
Just goes to show you just how competitive it really is out there, and sometimes just being in the right spot at the right time. I know Montreal is excited to have him back, much like last year when they got Sankey and the Eliminator to go on the run that they had.
Well, Lual could be perhaps the missing piece for a group that was already very strong in another Grey Cup run as they lead the East Division He's Red Blacks sitting in second right now as Nick Mardner makes the catch. Talk about talented young draft picks. That's the second overall selection from this year's draft. The first rounders back-to-back years for Montreal and Ottawa making plays here.
Yeah, he's the big tall one right there, 84. That's just, I mean, that's saying a lot when you ask a 6'7" receiver to run a little bang route and make people miss underneath. And typically that's type of play that is designed for quicker, shorter receivers. And that time Mardner gets an opportunity, picks up 5.
20 targets, 17 catches for Nick Mardner this season in his rookie campaign. As this one up in the air and mercifully falls to the turf, as Montreal's defense had visions of a third interception.
I'll say that was... Was it Mustafa again? Just stop it already, Mustafa. Look at him. He's just working on the vert right there. Just understanding the concepts, stunting into it, can't get there. Get your hands up. Make it a miserable day for Drew Brown.
Fletcher Jr. watches this one skip near the sideline, kicks back inbounds, and then Frederick Chagnon, smart play, special teamer from the Montreal Caravan, picks it up, and Mustafa Johnson might have to check how big these hands. He got 10-inch hands. What is this? He's knocking everything down. Mustafa can't be stopped. 8-3 Alouettes over the Red Blacks.
For the Falcons last week.
Something a little off in Kansas City. Something to ponder. Just tuck it away for a rainy day. Just something to ponder.
You know, Andy Reid going to the whip early.
There's an inside handoff. Here, Walter Fletcher getting a touch. Haven't said his name very much throughout this first while. It's hard to get it out to all the skill position players when you're not picking up a ton of first downs, limited snaps.
One in the first quarter. I wouldn't say many more here in the second quarter as of yet. But anytime you get the ball in Walter Fletcher hands, things happen. I love the fact that he's had 60 receptions, well over 500 yards of offense through the air.
The only player in the CFL with 500 rushing and 500 passing receiving yards, I should say, so far this season. He'll add to it once again as they flip him out in space, and a flag comes out at the end of this play. Tyler Sneed was the only Alouettes receiver down the field, and did he block early?
Or was he hanging on? Because that play took a while to develop, and as a receiver, you're blocking, and then DB's trying to shake the block, and
illegal contact, Ottawa, number 38. The 10 yards is greater than the play. It'll be first down.
The penalty goes against DeAndre Lamont. How about the design of this, though, Matty? Flopping Fletcher from one side of Fajardo all the way around the backside for the bubble screen.
Hey, however you get it done, you know, just try to find. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That was pretty blatant. Wow. That was an easy call. Give Fletch that one, though.
Fajardo from the shotgun. First and 10 after the penalty. Inside 10 minutes remaining. Waits, now fires, and it's complete. Over the middle. And after he got jacked up, Tyler Sneed pops up onto his feet and makes a big grab.
Yeah, and this is patient, really nice looking throw by Cody Fajardo. And watch Fajardo set his feet. He has patience right here, and then he upfield shoulder, stick it on him. It was a backfield shoulder there, but it didn't matter. Sneed running away from cornerback, picking up a good 15-16 chunk right there.
Yeah, gain of 23. Elijah McGee
even better.
Defending. Sneed with the deepest average depth of target in this Montreal receiving core as Fajardo takes a hit and fires it up down the field for Sneed. They'll throw the flag. I got a feeling that Bob Dice might be reaching into his back pocket on this one. Yep, challenge flag's already out.
Pass interference, Ottawa, number 29. Spot a foul, automatic first down.
Sneed definitely sold it. As I said, deepest average depth of target in a receiving group that involves Austin Mack and Tyson Philpott, Keon, Julian Grant, Reggie White, Charles Ram, all the rest. But It's this man right here that gets all the home run shots just like this.
He does. And, you know, surprising when you look at that, like you said, Marshall, because you wouldn't figure that. But I'm not sure if there's much there. And Bobby Dice says, wait a minute, let's have another look at that. Give you a few more seconds to take a look at it. It's 3 of 8 on challenges this year, and I think he's got a good case on this one.
So Bob rolls the dice, and we'll see whether or not Ottawa gets an opportunity.
Ottawa's challenging the ruling on the field of pass interference. Play will be reviewed.
To take the football back the other direction as we'll take a quick break while they take a look at it, and the command center reviews things. Back at HQ, will it be defensive pass interference or not? We find out when we return. Welcome back to Ottawa. Bob Dice challenging for defensive pass interference that was called against his defense as Elijah McGee out there on the wide side. They tried to take a home run shot on him. Tyler Snead down the field. He sold it. There is some pressure there. Little tug, little grab. And Dave Foxcroft is the replay official. It's a 27-yard penalty for now, but will it stand?
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Ottawa will be charged a timeout.
Well, Bob Dice career challenges now 50%, 13 for 26.
I would say it's the left hand there late that he runs with him about 2 steps on the middle of his chest belly. That got him. Sorry, Marshall, I was actually doing that to you as I was talking about it.
I get beat up here in the booth.
There you go.
27-yard penalty into the wide side. Walter Fletcher trying to win the race, cuts it back, but down inside the 10. And it'll be good enough for another first down, a gain of 11.
Yeah, just make things happen, Dalier, number 39. And on the right side of the line, gets a little more help from Mason. Just, it's a way to get it done, man. Dirty work inside, frees up the Fletcher to do his thing on the outside. Well done, boys.
Great to see Dallaire back on the field as well. He was injured earlier on in this football game as Breda chased it down from the backside, and now it'll be Fajardo going with a little counter run. Keep the quarterback right down the middle.
How would you say that guy was? It's like, just, yeah. Hit me. And why not? They're just having success on the outside. Cody and Jason Moss feel like they've got enough to spread them out. He makes 2 big boys, not a bad idea to make 96 miss.
Fajardo stays in the football game. Goal line opportunity, rolls off the tackles. Touchdown Montreal, their first offensive score of the day.
Yeah, he paid the price on those last 2 plays for that major. Guarantee it, though. He's loving life right now. No matter how sore he is coming off the field, he's going, yeah, that's what I do. That's what they did last year to win their Grey Cup, grade 8. Just pushing and grinding, beats Webb. Webb just kind of putting an elbow on him. Not really trying to stop the big quarterback. Didn't have a chance there. Cody Fajardo wanted it more.
Olay chance ring out around TD Place is now the extra point is missed. No good for Jose Maltos, who has been money this year. 23 of 25 on field goals, including 2 of 2 from 50 plus. But he can't make the extra point there as Fajardo getting some attention on his midsection. The training staff looking him over. Get another look at the starting quarterback for the Alouettes and the odds books favorite to win most outstanding player. What happened?
Fell on that left shoulder, maybe? Rib?
That's ribs.
I'm not sure if it happened on this play because that looks... He's following the ball. That's the only thing. Maybe he got the wind knocked out of him right there as he falls on the ball. Ball's right in his gut right here. He falls right on it, and he holds that spot when he gets up. Yeah, I think that's just a breathing problem, short-lived. Yeah, he's good.
Well, Fajardo ball cap on, but ripping it on the sidelines to try and loosen up whatever's ailing him.
Hey, You know, he's kind of used to scoring, putting the ball in the end zone. 41st out of his career. I'd say that's pretty good.
Eli Stove returns this from inside his 10-yard line and runs right into that Jezrin Antwi, pushing a Ottawa blocker back into the play. Eli Stove fighting through that. As we take a look back, trying to identify exactly where Fajardo might have gotten banged up here. Was it this little inside veer run?
You would think it'd be on this one, the one that got him to the one when it got nasty right in here. That shot coming in late. Then the adrenaline takes over.
Well, as you know better than anybody, Matty, you're at the 1-yard line, you don't feel anything. You score, you go, wait a minute.
Yeah, I ain't going out. Sit over there, Dave. Sit over there, Caleb. I'm not coming out.
Comes up to Drew Brown. Looking and nearly intercepted. That one, slow motion for Wesley Sutton.
Slow motion and the progression for the quarterback, too, staring down that shortcut. And, oh, man, it's just, you got to get off of that. And watch the halfback right here jump it. Just a nice little switch, communication there by the corner and the half, switching it up. Now, let's give him that. I'll take the inside, you take the outside. I've jumped this and worked out beautiful. Almost another one.
Sutton says this close. We'll see if he gets even closer next time. As Brown fading away and dumps this one underneath. Looks like he wanted to go to Miller on a crossing route and then couldn't get it there, so just found the feet of Leyburn, his back, who was the closest to the football by the time it laid on the turf.
Only rushing 4 here, and one from second level. A lot of twisting. Teams defensively across the league have success doing that. Very seldom see guys just going one-on-one, and maybe a bull rush will get there, but twisting, you just get to play half the man and great angles, get to the quarterback.
Flag comes down here. James Lesher Jr. gets wrapped up and hauled down. It's like Kenny Onyeka out of Carleton was down the field making the play. 3 straight 2-and-outs for the Ottawa offense here as the CFL on Ottawa. CTV rolls on today. Great to be with you on CTV. Much more of that coming your way, including the Eastern Semi, Eastern Final, and the Grey Cup on CTV. As you have to think, if Ottawa continues their way, should get a home Eastern Semi that would be right here on CTV, and then the Eastern Final right now looks like it's going to Montreal. Again, sorting through the seedings and the home field advantage and all the rest over the next couple of weeks, including here today, where Montreal can get themselves with a victory thanks to the Toronto loss, a home playoff date.
Yeah, Montreal offensively finding some rhythm that last series due to a defensive pass interference, got him down close.
Fajardo loads it up. Charleston Rambo down the field, runs under it. Caught, brought down at the 9-yard line. And something we saw from Fajardo so much at the start of the season that's been missing from this Alouettes attack over the last month or so is this, the 20-yard plus plays.
Yeah, watch this. This is just a skinny post. Get there, and Cody threw it as far as he could. He threw it beautifully and timing beautifully. Got to get rid of it. Ball just drops in the bucket. Rambo says, that's how I do it.
And from a sore rib standing on the sideline trying to warm up to just chucking it down the field for Rambo.
Yeah.
That's Rambo's 18th catch of 20 yards or more thrown down the field. That leads the Alouettes. Impressive numbers for Rambo and Fajardo on the deep targets this year. A deeper drop this time for Cody. Steps up, gets hit as he throws. Back of the end zone. It's incomplete. All the way into the log cabin that time it skips, but Fajardo back onto his feet and gets set for second down.
Yeah, the last couple series is just Cody airing it out. That time he does as well. Second level, Cody gets popped after he delivers this football. Pop, pretty good one right there. Davion Taylor says hello.
They take out the double fullback set here. Dallaire and Jacob Mason to the sideline. Ottawa crowd gets into it. Walter Fletcher, always dangerous around this part of the field. That young linebacking core for the REDBLACKS trying to stand up on second down. Here comes the house. Fajardo pumps, throws it up in the air for Steed, incomplete.
Snead was having a hard time that whole route. Motioned all the way across the field.
I love the lip reading on Tyler Snead right there. Just looks at the official, goes, why not?
Yeah. And he comes all the way across the football field, and he's bringing it, and he comes here. He has problems on the right-hand side getting into the route. Then he trips at the end of the route. He just struggled on that play. It's a good job right there defensively by Bennett Williams.
Yeah, I wondered if Jason Moss would go ahead and throw the challenge flag. Bennett Williams, I was just about to say, Matt, he came close to putting hands on the back and actually forcibly, just almost out of being nervous, not knowing where the football was, shoving Tyler Snead in the back.
Montreal is challenging the previous play for pass interference. The play will be reviewed.
The question now is, did he actually give Snead enough of a shove in the back to materially affect the way Snead could play the football in the air?
Watch Snead here as I'm talking about him. Right there, third receiver, closest to the left tackle here. And right here, tries to move outside, then he stumbles there. Bennett's in good position, then the hands to the back, and he pushes him down. The ball sails out of the back of the end zone. Just a tough route all around. Question here, did he have a chance of catching that football? Or did Williams impede his motion to that?
Well, just like the pass interference call that Tyler Snead drew earlier when Elijah McGee was in coverage, Snead ends up Superman face down in the pebbles of this TD Place turf.
Regardless, I was talking about Cody sucking it up there. We saw him do what he does, 41st rushing touchdown of his career after the defensive pass interference that was challenged by Bobby Dice. Didn't get the call. They find Fletch, and then they get in there and Cody run, two of them in a row. And then he airs that one out to Charleston Rambo. And his arm looks plenty live today. Oftentimes over the course of his career, he's been noted for maybe not having the strongest arm and having to double move people in order to get the ball deep. Well, he's putting that to rest tonight. He's throwing the ball really well deep. And see if he can get this call.
Call his in from command.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Montreal will be charged a timeout.
Well, that was one of those, Matty, that it's not going to make anybody happy. So Jason Moss is on the losing end of that challenge. So 37 for 88 in his career now, 42%. But you could have gone either way with that one if you're Dave Foxcroft, the replay official, back in the command center, because the hand was unquestionably on the back. But was it enough to actually change the way Snead could play the football? He says no. So the field goal unit comes out here as Jose Maltos missing the extra point after the Cody Fajardo sneak. This time tags 3 more points on, and it's a 17-3 road advantage for the Alouettes in Ottawa. Crave presents the next chapter in the Batman saga, starring Academy Award nominee Colin Farrell, The Penguin.
What?
An HBO original limited series, streaming now only on Crave.
That's a series?
That's a whole series on Crave. You gonna crush the whole thing? You gonna wait until the off season? Or are you gonna watch it now?
I don't know.
Don't let it sit there in your queue.
Don't have a lot of time.
If it's there, watch it.
Yeah.
On the
that
plane.
looks good though.
And Jeremiah Masoli.
Yeah, I can see this. You know, last week I said up the top I would have pulled Drew Brown in the second quarter. That's what we got here. He's sitting this one down again, and Masoli's going to get a crack.
Well, handed off on the first snap for Masoli. Leyburn continues to run hard as it's a gain of 11. They'll move the chains, and we get a look at Jeremiah Masoli, the veteran, former Hamilton Tiger Cat here in Ottawa. Injuries have slowed his progression in this offense, but Tommy Condell, the offensive coordinator, big believer in what Jeremiah brings to the room, whether it be as a leader, as a teacher, and now he has to be a performer.
So enticing. Sorry, Marshall. So enticing for Bobby Dice to have a guy like that, and many coaches across the league, experienced veterans in the back.
There's a shot to Justin Hardy right here. As Matisse Leon will try to bring down Hardy, but it'll slant off the ear. One attempt, one completion for Jeremiah Masoli in a gain of 24.
There he is. Well over 1,000 yards on the season already, and attack your area of the coverage. It'll unfold in front of you, get deeper than the defender, and sit in the hole. And Jeremiah Masoli finds him comfortably there, moving the sticks on the 35-yard line.
Pair of touchdown drives before 2 interceptions slowed down the comeback against Hamilton last week. But Masoli threw 2 touchdown passes, 183 yards on 13 of 19, and now he's in the ball game, down 2 touchdowns at the 3-minute warning. Drew Brown struggling to find his game over the last couple of weeks. The Alouettes fans have loved it here today. Their defense has been exceptional. More to play when we return.
We love having the CFL on CTV back, and now we get to promote what's coming up on CTV. The Phantom Menace tonight, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, and any excuse the boys need to use lightsabers, this is what they do.
Strike me down.
Stop it. Stop. Oh.
Nick Mardner with the grab here inside the 30. As getting word that Drew Brown is in the locker room with an ankle injury. And we'll see whether or not he has the ability to return. Maybe that's affected his ability to plant on that back foot and rip into it the way that we've seen him throughout the first half of this year. But regardless, Bob Dice leaning on Jeremiah Masoli reliably here to end the first half.
Yeah, good position to be in if you're a head coach. Team is looking to defend and stay perfect at home. Got a guy like that. Starter gets nicked. No problem. Let's move to number 8.
Only 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions on the year, and hard count here. Flags come up everywhere.
Procedure, Ottawa, number 55. 5-yard penalty. It remains second down.
Yeah, I'm not. It's just, that happens. You got a new quarterback, new cadence, left tackle. Drake Centers is under the spotlight. It was a little early. They'll get used to each other.
Trying to get off the football to deal with Avery Ellis there. Backup defensive lineman. Haven't said his name yet today, but that D-line digs in here once again. On 2nd and 9. Masoli 2 of 2. Looks left. Now escapes from the pressure. Flag comes in, and Masoli goes underneath. Completed. And it is Nick Mardner with the first down 4 now, but is it coming back on a hold?
Yeah, a lot of pressure up, you know. They blocked it up well, but
holding, Ottawa, number 68. 10-yard penalty. We'll repeat second down.
Eric Starzala, drafted by the Argonauts back in 2019 in the 7th round out of the Guelph Griffins program, in at center for Cyril Hogan St. Don, and he's the one who gets the flag here against Mustafa Johnson.
Yeah, I didn't see a lot there. Mustafa crossed his face, had a stunt coming back up the A-gap, so he turns him over to the left guard and doesn't get enough on the stunter coming back into that gap, and he kind of puts an arm out there and gets flagged for holding.
Masoli backed up now, 2nd and 20. Looks to his right, goes to Leyburn, and the young running back makes the grab, picks up what he can, but 3rd down, and Lewis Ward comes out to attempt the field goal.
Yeah, you talk about the battle. He mentioned it earlier, Marshall, between Lewis Ward, Sean White, Rene Paredes, some other kickers in this league that are just lighting it up, including Maltos from Montreal. Yeah, these people have been phenomenal. Lewis is really special. Has been.
Richard Leone puts the hold down here for Lewis Ward, who rips it through the uprights. So the offense for the Red Blacks, a pair of field goals to show on the day. And Lewis Ward on the season now 45 of 50 as he ups his percentage around 90% on the year.
Yeah, CFL leader history. 88.34%.
Seems like a kicker changes every week between White, all the great kickers we got in the game.
There it is, right behind him.
Fajardo with pressure on, pumps, and then just tucks it and waits for the pressure to come. It finally does.
I know who that is.
The big man in the middle, Cleon Lang, 10th year at Iowa State.
Yeah, Cleon is, and he had his battles early in his career. And he's just bull rushing, keeping his man there. Then Cody kind of comes into him. Lozo's there with him, and Cleon says, yes, sir. Put that one in the holster and count it.
See what Baron Miles decides to do here defensively for the Red Blacks. 2nd and 15. Fajardo, 4 receivers to his right. Looks that way for a screen. Now he tries to go with a little inside screen. They tried to sneak one to Cole Speaker with everyone running the wrong direction, but incomplete. It falls to the turf. And so quickly, Ottawa gets the football back after adding 3 more points on the board.
Yeah, and this is exactly what that defense needed to do. Get off the field quickly, give Jeremiah a chance to possibly get a major, crawl back in this game. Down 11 right now. Cut it to 4. I like the chances. I can see that playing out. That's what you're thinking if you're Red Black right now.
Ottawa's put themselves in a hole here a couple weeks in a row with turnovers, penalties. They were unable to dig their way out against Hamilton last week on the road. Can they do it here at home? A big return would certainly help. Flags come down. It looks like Keaton Brugling is going to get called for a block in the back, likely against Sean Thomas Erlington. A couple of Canadians battling against each other. As we look at Jeremiah Masoli, back in his old stomping grounds, Tim Hortons Field last week. Matty, you were there and saw him in person.
Yeah, did some things really well. Coach was looking for a spark, got one. He was added late in the 3rd quarter, down a bunch. You know, wasn't perfect on the day. Credit Hamilton and Jonesy's defense for what they're doing differently right now. Kind of settling in there. Hamilton is defensively and getting better week to week. And Jeremiah gave him a spark, but it wasn't enough. Too little, too late.
Eric Starzala, the center that took the holding penalty on the last drive. Gets down over the rock here with a long field in front of the Red Blacks offense. They have 92 seconds with which to play. They'll start with a bubble screen. It's Jalen Acklin. There's a big block on the outside. Springs them. And finally, Deontay Ruffin, who had the pick 6 earlier, brings him down.
Yeah, just slip it out there. Get a man-on-man in front of Jalen and let him do the rest. Convoy, look at Hardy working hard. He whiffs on Ruffin.
Mardner out there against Kabian Ento. That might be the all-time length-on-length matchup, corner and receiver, with Ento alongside the rookie Mardner out of Auburn. Now Acklin go back to the well, but a fantastic job flying out. That's Hamlin back in the lineup here after being dinged early on in this game.
Yeah, you see him right up top, moving, sliding, seeing it. Full sprint. Boy, it's pretty. Just like a hunting dog right there.
First year out of Colgate. In the lineup, Marc-Antoine Ducroix, remaining on the 1-game injured list for now. As Montreal on 2nd and 6, lines up like they're sending pressure. They'll bail out of it. And Masoli throwing in between zones, tipped by Canton Arcou, who nearly had his 2nd interception of the day after having none in his career coming in.
Yeah, Jeremiah just never saw this. And here's the route. He's flying right up here, and he's open right here. Jeremiah doesn't see it. Then he throws it late and tries to feather it in there. Look, he's open right now. Get it to him. Ball's late. Able to get a hand on it. Look at that punt situation.
First incompletion for Jeremiah Masoli in relief duty of Drew Brown. Richie Leone fires this one down to James Letcher Jr. Matches that is 29. And high tackle. Looks like they got him up around the face mask, so flag comes out. So in the Ottawa bench, the Montreal Alouettes will go retrieve their return man.
So it looked like a great opportunity for Ottawa to climb back in this game with decent field position. No, they get a penalty on the punt return, backs them up, a 2 and out. Then they're going to get a
face
penalty
mask
here.
Ottawa, number 99.
Now Montreal,
15-yard penalty, first down.
With 46 seconds left, is going to have the ball basically in score zone with 1 first down, and they're going to have a chance to put points on the board. And that's just what you love about the CFL in the last 3 minutes of each half. A lot can happen. Yeah, that's
painful.
That's kind of like cheating.
Kenny Onyeka up high on James Letcher Jr. They'll catch that every single time, and Letcher feeling that one.
Yeah, James Hannibal Letcher just probably appreciates the fact that he's associated with the word high, because he's 5'7". You know, it's like, what?
Over 100 yards and penalties here in the first half for the Ottawa Redblacks, and a bunch of them on special teams, which was frustrating to Bob Dice with his background working with the third unit. Now Fajardo to Rambo down the field, incomplete.
Yeah, I was watching Charleston the whole time, trying to get deep, and I think he made the move just a little bit too soon on the defender. Watch this ISO. The defender's outside. Yeah, and he still got by him. Still got by Dandridge. Cody just had too much on it, which you don't often say about 7. He's been throwing the deep ball with a lot of strength and power, and no problem getting it out there today for number 7. Overthrew his receiver on that one.
Deion Julian Grant, bottom of your screen, back in the lineup. Haven't said his name very much so far this ball game. As Rambo now sits between coverage, and he will get a first down across the 40-yard line with 34 seconds remaining.
Yeah, good protection for 7 here to work on 2nd and long. He just keeps drifting, then he fires one into the tight hole on the little curl route by Charleston. At first you don't succeed. Try again and move the sticks.
4-man rush from the Redblacks. Fajardo plants the back foot, gets it out, pulls Speaker across the 30, keeps the length driving all the way down to the 25-yard line. The clock will stop as they move the chains once again, gain of 13.
Yeah, I go back to the series of downs prior to that. Redblacks shooting themselves in the foot offensively and on special teams, and then 2 and out. Now Montreal's driving, going to distance themselves with some type of points here.
4 receivers to the left of Fajardo. Looks that way, comes back, screen it to the boundary. Walter Fletcher, so dangerous in the open field, makes 2-men miss. Now a third. Can he make it all the way to the end zone? He rides on the back of the defender and is inside the 5. Walter Fletcher in the screen game, lethal.
Oh, just making people miss. Just feeling it from the inside out, because every one of those potential tacklers could just be lethal and light you up. And Cody again feeling it after that little dink to one of his favorite targets, Walter Fletcher, who makes defense pay.
Injured Redblack is down on the turf, but yeah, Fajardo dealt with the hamstring injury earlier on this season. Had to miss a couple of games. Davis Alexander came in, ended up going 3-0 for them in his opportunity while Cody got healthy, but it's obvious that something underneath the right side of that flak jacket is bothering Fajardo. He's working through it, but he's definitely got something banged up in there.
It ain't going away today. He'll play through it. But he put 7 on the point on the board here. This is just gorgeous. Watch this. Just breaking
Dandridge.
tackles. That's 2. There's Dandridge. He gets caught from inside out. Big man falling on top of him.
Yeah, Pierre-Olivier Lestage.
Lestage, yeah, that's
made the contact with Dandridge, so he's the injured Redblack down on the field. As the training staff takes a look at him, and looks like he will make his way up onto his feet. As the 4th-year pro out of Missouri Western heads to the sideline while Fajardo talks it over with Jason Moss, and they try to decide exactly how they want to attack with 6 seconds remaining.
Dan just taking his time, going real slow across the field. Give Cody a chance to regroup as well, Marshall. You know, sometimes that's all you need. Just let me breathe here.
Well, it's amazing, though, seeing that shot of Jason Moss and Cody Fajardo working things over, talking it over on the sideline.
Timeout, Montreal.
How many times, and now Montreal with the timeout, how many times do we see that in Saskatchewan?
Oh, yeah.
With Cody Fajardo and Jason Moss, and it didn't work out the way they wanted to, and everyone kind of thought, well, it's maybe not the best pairing, and this isn't going to be the best situation. They've certainly proven that wrong, but how soon we forget that in Saskatchewan, there were times where it was really fiery between the two of them and a lot of frustration.
Yeah, I think it was more circumstantial than it was between them and their relationship. It's the nature of the beast, the pressures that a head coach and a quarterback are under, specifically there in Saskatchewan. Yeah, that surfaced many times.
Fajardo gets the signal from Jason Moss. Takes the play to the huddle, now to the line of scrimmage. Hard count. Looks to his left. Quarterback draw. He's stacked up and thrown backwards. What a play by Tyrone Freda into the lineup for Javon Santos Knox, and shuffling the deck with Davian Taylor over to weak side linebacker. And they decided to go quarterback draw with 6 seconds left, Matty.
Yeah, that's I like it. Freda said no. He had spied that. No way. No way was Lawrence going to get up to second level. Freda crossed his face and was waiting for Cody in the hole, forcing a Maltos field goal. It's the best situation scenario Ottawa could have hoped for.
Freda gets the stop, and Jose Maltos adds to his consecutive field goal streak. Some pushing and shoving here to end the first half in a playoff preview in the East Division. The top 2 teams in the Canadian Football League is Freda, the second-year global out of North Dakota, stepping into the lineup and making his presence felt, making a big play at the end of the first half.
Yeah, I think if you're Ottawa, you're pretty fortunate to be only down 14 going into half.
Yeah, one of the biggest plays, of course, of this first half, a pick 6 by Deontay Ruffin as he is field level alongside Kenzie Lalonde.
Yeah, Deontay, let's go back to that first quarter. I mean, a huge 80-yard pick 6 by yourself. Canton Arcou gets a huge interception. Sankey, as well as Moose, I mean, huge blocks. Was that as good of a dream start as your defense could have?
Yes, that's what we've been preaching on all season, is just starting fast and finishing fast. So I'm just glad we lived up to it, and we still got a lot of game to play. But, you know, start fast, finish fast. That's what we want.
We found a way to shut down Drew Brown. Now you have a new quarterback there, Jeremiah Masoli. Does the game plan change at all for you?
We just continue to play Owls football. Regardless of what it is, we come out, play Alouettes defense, and it'll be a good night.
Best of luck.
Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup.
Kate, over to you.
There's your stats after one half of play here in the nation's capital. The most important one, unbeaten in 7 straight at home for the Ottawa REDBLACKS. 6-0-1 so far this season. They'd love to keep that going, but a 14-point deficit. Bob Dice is alongside Kenzie Lalonde to sort out the quarterback situation.
Well, Bob, we saw Jeremiah Masoli finish the half there with Drew Brown sidelined with an ankle injury. Can we expect Drew Brown to return?
No, I don't think we'll see Drew for the rest of the game. You know, the ankle's really bothering him, and he's not going to be able to play in the second half.
So what do you want to see from Masoli here in this offense to get going?
Well, you know, you look at the first half, we gave him really 13 points off of turnovers, because the first pick 6 was actually 10 points. We could have kicked a field goal, you know. What we got to do is limit the turnovers, and we have to execute. It's just that simple. Jeremiah, just want him to run the offense, distribute the ball like I know he can.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
So Bob Dice confirming we will not see Drew Brown for the remainder of this football game. Jeremiah Masoli back at the controls after Brown a couple of interceptions early on in this ball game. And Masoli, after missing a significant period of time over the last couple of years with injury, right now healthy, and obviously you see the look on his face, excited about the opportunity to run this REDBLACKS offense that he knows so well, called by Tommy Condell, who was his offensive coordinator for so long in Hamilton.
Remember, Montreal won the coin toss and deferred. So we'll take the ball here.
Ottawa took it to begin. Montreal gets it now. Almost made the special teams tackle, couldn't get there. But they do bring him down. As big return that time, and Adrian Fry looks like he was in on the tackles. James Letcher Jr. back onto his feet after a face mask earlier on the return. Brugling 87 came flying in, just barely missed it, and then everybody had to start chasing, because once James Letcher Jr. gets going, he might be gone.
It's like, if you don't have dreads as a returner in the Canadian Football League,
why even play?
Yeah, why even sit up? We got a lot of them that can fly.
Letcher, one of the best. Cody Fajardo hands it off inside. Jedrin Antwi playing the rare carry here. Antwi coming into today, only 8 carries on the season, 5 catches. Chipping away, filling in a little bit here and there. Spot duty for Walter Fletcher. That time they had them both on the field.
Yeah, Sean Thomas Arlington is the next guy up, right? So when they're just chomping at the bit, right? When they get close to the football, they're going to make things happen.
Lorenzo Malden staring down Cody Fajardo. Ottawa sends 6. Fajardo, back foot, steps up, rips it over the top, incomplete. There's Reggie White in the area alongside Charleston Rambo, but a 2 and out to begin here for the Ottawa REDBLACKS. So Jeremiah Masoli will get the football back down 14 very quickly.
Yeah, trying to throw just a catchable ball on the outside, and the timing wasn't there, and not sure about the play on the ball here, or if either receiver thought the ball was going to them. It was kind of like right in no man's land. Quick 2 and out.
Fajardo talking it over. Need you here, Reggie. Splitting the difference in between those two, so incomplete.
How about making a better throw, Cody? Goes both ways.
Yeah. Low snap comes back this time, and Zima just has to pick it up off the turf and hammer it. Does well. Sends it all the way down to the 6-yard line. And great coverage from the Alouettes. Nearly out-kicked everyone heading down as Mustafa Johnson, game changer, feels like an inevitability as an all-star here in the Canadian Football League in 2024.
Yeah, he was a menace, whether he's disrupting the quarterback's throwing rhythm, he was batting balls down, run stoppages, stunts. He was bull rushing people, second bat down right there. Mustafa Johnson just saying, not my watch.
Our stats man extraordinaire John Perlberg telling me coming into today just 2 knockdowns for Johnson before the day. Got himself 2 more in that first half alone. Masoli begins with a draw. Kalen Leyburn rips off 5 or 6 yards on first down.
Just doesn't look like much, but Mustafa is way over on the. He's right here, I believe, and watch him. Stunts back and then he works hard to the football, comes in there late. He's playing a lot all across that defensive line. Great effort.
Masoli, quick drop, lots of time, looks over the middle. Dominique Grimes sits it down right in front of Bryce Cosby for a completion and a first down for the REDBLACKS, gain of 12.
Yeah, such a smooth motion here from Jeremiah. You know, no rush, no panic, just off his kind of his back foot, drops the elbow down and just feathers it into Grimes. And there's some seen it many more times than the young Drew Brown or some of the young up-and-coming quarterbacks. You see a veteran there, just experience coming out.
Got that Dunnigan back pedal from the 90s. Catch it, little.
You can see the field that way. You can see the whole field. Throw it all, man. Just Flutie-esque.
This time Masoli with a deeper drop. Pressure on. And looping around. Unknown to Jeremiah Masoli was Wesley Sutton, who's starting to really heat up here as we head for the home stretch.
Yes. Second quarterback sack of the season. Another tackle for a loss, adding to his total. Just flying in from the left side. Jeremiah hanging on to it. Then the spider senses start tingling and showing, abort. And Sutton's there. And yeah, you get hit often enough in the back of the head like that. You get that second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth sense to get rid of it or duck.
Oh, Masoli nearly intercepted by KB and Ento as Jeremiah put it to the outside, and Rhymes thought it was going inside, and Ento was ready to house call it for a second Alouettes pick 6.
There's Ento. There's the receiver, and watch this happen. Ento's outside, great break. He broke way before the ball was thrown and made a better play on it. Should have had another pick 6 here to go along with his teammates, Ruffins, earlier in the first quarter. So, yeah, good looking start for Montreal's defense coming out.
Pressure sent by the Alouettes on their punt return unit. Sean Thomas Erlington closest to Richie Leone, as now Letcher pays the price once again. Another big hit as KB and Ento nearly changed the entire feeling of this football game with an interception. Masoli pumped inside, tried to rip it outside, just couldn't bring it in. Masoli knows he got away with one. Cody Fajardo in the first half, 50% completion rate, 152 yards, battling through what appears to be something in and around his right side ribs on the front of his body after some big inside runs, but charged this one through into the end zone and threw a couple of bombs down the field as well. Charleston Rambo on the receiving end of this one.
Yeah, and he's throwing the ball deep in that first half, better than I've seen him throw a deep ball in a long time. And if they can get that going and start stretching the defense vertically like that on a consistent basis, as opposed to having to double move them and chunk it down all the time, it's going to be a tough team to beat.
Double fullback set in once again. Fajardo play action rolls, gets it outside. Keon Julian Grant into the lineup here. Missed 6 games, but last week 8 catches, 71 yards.
Even this is a confident dart by number 7 on the roll. Got the flat man right in front of you. He's covered, sticking on the comeback. Keon says thank you very much. Good looking route, pitch and catch right there.
Julian Grant, season-ending injury last year. Watch Tyson Philpott score the Grey Cup game-winning touchdown. And Tyson out now. Said it's your turn for me to watch and you to go win the Grey Cup earlier this week as Walter Fletcher, a 6-yard rush up in between the tackles, but so much talent, Canadian receiver across the Canadian Football League as we know, and Keon Julian Grant and Tyson Philpott just have a hard time staying healthy for the full season together, which is a shame because they're so much fun to watch at the same time.
Yeah, spent 6 weeks in the second game back on that 6-week injured list, and it's good to see him back and healthy. There's Tyson, a quick recovery. Yeah, but do you think it has to deal with the number of games they play in university and then the long season here? Is it just a matter of just
more of a grind? Fair question. Tough to adjust to. As Fajardo, pressure on, gets it away outside, up for grabs, and a great play made by Keon Julian Grant to make sure that McGee couldn't get to the football. Receiver turned defensive back on that one. Otherwise, McGee is gone.
This is a long throw, and it's got to come out with great timing, and ball's got to be out. A little late. Cody threw a nice ball, as much as he could put on it. I swear, my first year backing up Warren Moon, I see him in practice, and he throws that ball, and he starts running towards the sidelines where he's throwing it. And I go, what are you doing, Warren? He goes, it's a long way to that sidelines over there. I'm getting a head start in case he comes back the other way. And I'm like, that's beautiful. That served me well over the next 14 years, by the way.
Head for the pylon.
Oh, yeah,
that's the golden rule.
Just get the angle now. Get out in front of it because you never know.
Alonzo Adai back to return here as Brandon Dandridge banged up earlier on. They're letting Eli Stove sit this one out, so the free safety for the Red Blacks, and they'll kick away from him as it rolls into the end zone. And Adai out of West Virginia doesn't go down and now gets punished for it. How dare you not take the knee? Elijah McGee making plays. Jumping on the football. Keon Julian Grant needed the full arm bar to make sure it wasn't an interception for Cody Fajardo. The Ottawa Redblacks, it has been a long time coming for them to get back into the postseason. The 2018 Grey Cup, of course, but playoff berths few and far between. You think about it, 18, then they go into 19, a lot of moving pieces and lose a bunch of their receivers. Who elsewhere? Trevor Harris left as well in free agency. Go through no football in 2020, and it's been 21, 22, 23. They haven't been in the playoffs. 24, it looks like a lock, but trying to accomplish that here today, get it done. And as a run, we'll pick up a first down for that Red Blacks offense, gain of 12. But that was actually the message from Lorenzo Malden at the start of the game in their huddle as they came out. Matty, was, we're trying to make the playoffs. Let's do it at home in front of our fans. Let's get this thing done.
Well, they're going to have to flip a switch because they've been off most of this football game to get that done, to make that happen. Continue the streak at home.
7-man pressure. Jeremiah gets it out as quick as you can ever. How about that throw?
That's just
from 8-ball. No laces. Catch that thing and rip it.
Yeah, he's just tired of getting hit. You know, it's just osmosis right there. You do it so many times. You take one in the chops. And know where your veteran receiver is, Jalen Acklin. You stick it on him whether you got the laces or not, Marshall. You've been there. I know you have.
I love watching throws like that. Jeremiah in a bit of a rhythm here. Looks good, replacing Drew Brown, who left with an ankle injury and a couple of interceptions. As hard count, they max protected. Jeremiah, without a lot of numbers, still finds an open receiver. And down the field,
Miller.
It is Miller, the deepest average depth of target in this receiving course, 17.5 yards per attempt for Miller.
Run the out and let me stick it on you. Two receiver just run the out route, balls and sticks it up and says, come on, Anto, let's go for a ride. Takes for about 5 more. It's a big, strong receiver. Good looking drive here. Put 6 on the board right now. Make this a 1-score game.
Gain of 22. I think they just caught Montreal in a blitz coming from the boundary side, so they check the protection. Masoli looks to throw up over the top in the air. Justin Hardy walks it in. Touchdown, REDBLACKS. What a great cat and mouse game that was.
It really was, Marshall, and veteran throw. Saw it, read it, knew that he had leverage with the high man. Yeah, here he is right here. He's going to run he's going to run the corner around. This ball's put up in the air. Corner's going to stop right here. He's got plenty of room. He's out leveraged. Ball's in the air already. That's easy pickings for Jeremiah Masoli and Justin Hardy. Just what the doctor ordered. 2 veterans giving this team a spark.
Justin Hardy into the end zone, adding to his accolades for the season. They'll go for 2 after number 2 into the end zone. 4 plays, 70 yards in under 2 minutes. Leyburn will empty out as a receiver here. Masoli looks right, fades away from pressure, up in the air. It bounces off Hamlin, and it falls down incomplete.
Take a look at it here again, Marshall.
Yeah, Justin Hardy, 1,000 receiving yards this season, projected if he plays all 18 to perhaps break the all-time record here in Ottawa. Came in with 76 catches. Now he's got another touchdown to add to his tally. There is Justin Hardy into the end zone for the Ottawa REDBLACKS as he got it. Tightening down the deficit, able to run away from the coverage. Jeremiah Masoli on his back foot with pressure on.
There's no coverage.
Laid it up perfectly. Then they went for the 2-point conversion and unable to get this one to go over the middle of the field as Hamlin, after giving up the touchdown, right back on the job against Hardy. But the decision to go for 2 in this spot would have made it a 21-14 football game. Remains 21-12.
Yeah, still a 2-score game. I was scratching my head after that one. Take the single, make it a 1-score game with the 2-point convert late. But they tried to get it done there and it didn't happen, so it's still a 2-score game.
James Fletcher Jr. trying to burst this one out to the 45-yard line. Solid return against a Ottawa coverage unit that doesn't give up many big returns. That one goes for 25 yards. Good starting field position once again for the Montreal Alouettes as Charleston Rambo continues to impress here in the Canadian Football League in his first year to the University of Miami.
Yeah, it seems like they're having success finding those first-year players that just contribute. You get Austin Mack back, he almost gets hurt instantaneously, goes on the IR, and he hadn't been missed because Charleston has been really productive.
Before Austin Mack was signed, Charleston Rambo kind of took over that role, and then they worked Mack in, and Rambo's just continued to ball out, as he's doing here once again today. Fajardo steps up, flag down, throws a missile that falls incomplete in front of Tyler Snead, but it'll go holding call against the Alouettes.
Holding, Montreal, number 39. It's a 10-yard penalty. We'll repeat first down.
And David Dallaire gets the call on that one.
Yeah. How about that circle? Yeah. Let's see. Oh, yeah. I didn't even circle the right guy. I think I circled 2 guys. My apologies. Yeah, just kind of took him down. Steer wrestled him to the ground.
Well, they whistled this play in, and now Montreal is substituting out their 2 fullbacks, Mason and Dallaire.
Yeah, go first down here. You good.
Play clock down to 5.
Nobody knows what's going on.
Rarely see that in the CFL. They do get it off. 5-man rush. Fajardo stands in, back foot. Oh, up high. Big contact flying down. spot. And Keon Julian Grant felt all of that.
Yeah, he didn't want to extend all the way on this one. Attack the area, right? We talk about it all the time. And then he's like, I see you coming. It's going to get my attention to the point where I'm not going to extend all the way. But, yeah, he felt that. Fry in the territory.
Cody's got rib issue of his own.
Deep fry.
Keon only a few seconds away from having his own. Is now Fajardo. Double move down the left sideline, and Rambo tried the old Vince Carter reverse 360 to go and catch that one along the sidelines. Can't make it work in a tight window. It falls incomplete.
I mean, this takes time. Cody's staring there the whole time, so the entire time that's happening, here comes help over the top. And that was not happening. It was just him, and Webb was like, are you kidding me? You're throwing this in my area and staring it down the whole way? You know who I am? Yeah, I was ill-advised. Seven got away with one on that play.
Creative problem solving from Charleston Rambo trying to make the play. But can't call it in. Cody started 5 of 6. He's been 4 of 12 since, so really cooled off. But Ottawa gets the football back as the battles continue on special teams between the top two teams in the Canadian Football League. Kalen LeBurn working his way into the Canadian Football League and on the roster. More on him with Kenzie when we return. Leyburn here in the first half, running downhill. The very first 2 plays of this game were straight downhill to the young running back out of Marshall. Kenzie Lalonde has more on his journey.
So Kalen Leyburn was at home at his grandma's house applying for jobs when the Ottawa REDBLACKS called. And so for him, this is an incredible opportunity. And he's already said Ottawa feels like home, which is a huge statement for the son of a Navy father, where he moved around a lot as a kid, from Virginia to North Carolina, even spent 2 years in Misawa, Japan when he was about 6 years old. And so we learned throughout his time as a young guy moving around a lot was 2 things that's really helped him in his pro football career. 1, it's a business, and you may make friends, but if you got to go, you got to go. And 2, you got to learn quickly. And he feels those 2 fundamental elements he learned when he was a young guy has really helped him here in the pro career.
A great young man, quality, character. Went to Florida State to begin his career, ended up making his way over to West Virginia to round things out. And now to the Canadian Football League as Jeremiah Masoli rips this one to the sideline. Justin Hardy goes over the top of Nafis Leon trying to fly in and tackle him, but Hardy getting some love continuously from Jeremiah Masoli since he's checked in for Drew Brown.
Yeah, those some tough yards right there, giving up the body. Hardy was. Yeah, just so I saw a lot of resemblance and heard a lot of resemblance with the young running back for Ottawa and Khalil Pimpleton, and just 2 young men that are hungry and appreciative of the past. And breath of fresh air for sure.
Yeah, Masoli working that wide side.
Come to find out, when he was down there his first year at Florida State, the cousin of Khalil Pimpleton, Dante Pimpleton, was a coach down there. And so there was a connection already. And these guys are cut from the same cloth. Hard workers, appreciative, yes sir, no sir. Brought up the white way. And it's just a breath of fresh air to talk to these young men throughout the week, get to know them, and watch the success that they have.
See if they go to Leyburn here. No, they'll flip it inside. Oh, and it was turned around immediately. And Tyrese Beverett on the spot, squared straight up on Justin Hardy. Let's go down to Kenzie Lalonde, who has an injury update on the REDBLACKS. Kenzie?
Yeah, so for the REDBLACKS, both offense, defense, taking some hit here. As we know, Drew Brown will not return. Stove as well with a leg-foot injury, as well as Cranston and Centers will not be returning here tonight, guys. So you got some significant losses as they move through.
Yeah, Centers moving over to the left tackle spot. Drake Centers, the American, had jumped from right tackle to left tackle, so he's out. Cranston out as a free safety. That'll impact them on special teams as well as a flag comes up. Masoli tries to get out of the pocket, gets wrapped up from behind. Wal Uguak, that might be his first sack back in the action, but it'll go against the REDBLACKS offside.
So Dante Bull goes to left tackle. And
offside, Ottawa, number 23. That penalty is declined. Third down.
And they only dressed 6 offensive linemen here, so yeah, Bull will have to jump into that tackle spot.
There's Bull right there, moving into the left tackle spot. Just some pressure, forces Jeremiah to climb the pocket, and they fold back and make a play.
Special teams battles continue. Adrian Fry working one-on-one against Charleston Rambo. You got Damon Webb, a starting boundary halfback out there. Starters on both sides of the ball. Trying to figure it out as the Montreal Alouettes, top team in the Canadian Football League. But after not losing games for so long, almost a full calendar year, 26 days?
That's a long time. Must feel like an eternity for this football
since
team.
They've won a football game. They lost 2. They've had a bye week as well, so 20-some odd days since they've had a victory. But, man, on the road, they look like they have the potential to return to the victory column today. And that would put them alone in 3rd.
Yeah, that road streak almost came to an end last week in the 1919 tie in Calgary. Now they come here, put themselves in good position thus far to keep her going. Something's got to give. Ottawa's undefeated at home. Montreal is undefeated on the road. Who's going to get the first mark and blemish on that record?
We just heard Kenzie Lalonde talking about injuries on the Ottawa sideline. And she mentioned Ty Cranston not likely to return. Alonzo Adai, the starting free safety, was slow to get back onto his feet at the end of that special teams play. So if he can't go, Justin Howell is the 3rd man listed at free safety out of Carleton. Fajardo looks for a quick screen, and Lozo forced the issue. Little game of one-on-one out there between 94 and 7.
I'm not sure. I think Cody was hoping that the hitchman receiver would come underneath and move, but he didn't, and Lozo is right there at the right here. Is going to get up in his face, and large body to throw around, and anticipate Charleston to continue coming upfield and put it on his upfield shoulder as you're supposed to do in those plays, and didn't happen.
Fajardo 1 of 6 in this half. The only completion to Kalen Julian Grant. Now he's got a second. As it'll be short.
Pretty close, about a yard.
Good job, good effort by Tyler Sneen reaching that football forward, but looks like they will be just shy, so decision time for the Alouettes sideline.
Yeah, and, you know, he's just going to run a comeback here, and not a comeback, but an out, and you got to come back to the football, and as he does, he gives up that yard to ensure the catch, which is you're supposed to do as first priority. Hopefully you break that tackle, but
oh, did the football come out at the end of this play? They stayed in. They went for it in short yardage. Fajardo stayed in and immediately got stacked up, and the football is coming up at the bottom of the pile here with Josh Donovan. Where are they going to spot this? We'll have to get a couple of different looks.
I think they gave it. I think they
got it. Wow. That is a very friendly spot based on what we saw initially, but let's get another look at it.
Got to ask yourself, how bad do you want it?
Good luck finding the spot of the football in that mess.
Yeah, I challenge anybody to put on a uniform and a helmet and jump down there and see how things go for you. That is just a whole lot of ugliness. Just people rooting and driving and clawing and scratching.
Fajardo picks up the first down. 4-man rush, deeper drop from Cody, flips it out. Walter Fletcher in open space, running to the sideline. Davion Taylor tracks him down from behind, but again, Walter Fletcher coming into this ball game with only 46 more rushing yards than he did receiving yards.
Right.
And he's adding to both of them in big ways like this.
Coming in 60 catches. I would throw the ball to him as much as I possibly could, play after play until they stop it and prove that they can. And then what do? They got to sacrifice and make an adjustment, and then you're going to have other people open. I just think he's such a weapon. Cody uses him extremely well.
This time they'll go to the ground attack with Fletcher. Beaten up on 2nd down and 1. Easy mode for 25. Move the sticks once again.
You know, Marshall, you talked about Jason Moss and Cody Fajardo in Saskatchewan. And it was a thing of beauty last year watching them come together and be out from kind of like that dark cloud that was going on in Saskatchewan at the time and find their way here in the way that they worked together and found, and how Cody responded after winning the Grey Cup. And that's a lot of hard work went into that for those two men, and they're continuing to prove themselves this year as well.
They bounce Fletcher out. They'll hand it off inside to Jesuit Antwi. So the two-back set is back in Montreal. A couple of package plays here, mixing and matching the backs alongside Cody Fajardo as the Montreal Alouettes looking for another victory on the road. Head-to-head, Montreal's won 6 straight games in this rivalry in their last 9 visits to Ottawa. For the record, it's only 2 games short of Winnipeg's 11 consecutive at BC. See if they can do it when we return. The numbers after 3 quarters of play. 21-12 is your score. Jeremiah Masoli throwing a touchdown to Justin Hardy. They go for 2 in that third quarter. Couldn't cash in and make it a 1-score game. And so here we sit with Ottawa trying to claw their way back in. They are unbeaten at home. Maddie, what do they have to do in this fourth quarter to keep that streak going?
More like what we saw in that drive, what Jeremiah put together and found Hardy in the end zone. It was a well-sustained drive, made some throws, very comfortable in the pocket, getting rid of the football quickly, certainly on that touchdown throw. It was easy pickings. But the way that Montreal has responded with this drive, it's like that was such a long time ago. And they're doing exactly what they need to do is get the momentum back. And if Montreal can find a way to put some points on the board here, it goes a long way to securing their undefeated record on the road.
Jeremiah Masoli 12 of 15. Cody Fajardo 11 of 21. Make that 12 of 22. As Rambo gets the first touch of the final quarter here. 14 on 14. Bennett Williams makes the tackle.
Yeah, and Ottawa's off the field, looks like, because it's 3rd and 3. And watch this quick hitch to the right. Fajardo delivers the mail, but the pursuit is just relentless. And Rambo's got a abort going inside because too many bodies there, and that's just self-preservation. I'm going outside. This is a lot easier over here. Doesn't pick up the first down. It's a solid decision. Ottawa did what they had to do defensively to get the ball back.
Now Adrian Fry back to return. So they tried Alonzo Adai. He got banged up. Eli Stove, the usual returner, he's out. Brandon Dandridge banged up earlier on as well. So send back a 4th or 5th different returner in this ball game. And Fry won't get a chance to touch it as that football goes out of bounds. And Jeremiah Masoli trying to do what he couldn't do last week in Hamilton. Lead the charge, lead a comeback, and help Ottawa get into the playoffs. And how poetic it would be after all the injuries and all the time spent on the sidelines and injured if Masoli was the one to actually clinch Ottawa a playoff berth here at home.
Yeah, tough field position. Great job by Zima there. Not inside the 10. He had 6 of those coming in the ball game. Just at the 12, and that's tough field position to start. Looking at a long field for the Ottawa REDBLACKS.
Ackman crosses the formation. Masoli looks over the top. Little wheel route. Justin Hardy. And was it? Wow, did he haul that in? He did. He climbed the ladder.
What? Jeremiah strong arm flips it with the wrist. Watch him flip this out there. Slow developing. Turns his back and then just flicks it out there. And Hardy goes over the top as he's falling down. Kind of mistimed his jump. He's coming on the way down. And Sutton can't get it. And Hardy says, just another day.
I take back climbing the ladder.
He was falling off the ladder.
The ladder got knocked out from underneath him. And somehow Hardy hauled it in for 31 yards. Looking for an inside handoff now, and Masoli, confusion in the backfield. They'll burn first down as Leyburn and Masoli, not sure how many reps they've gotten together over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'm watching them right here and take a look at the quarterback, running back exchange here. Montreal giving it to you, taking it away, bringing Sutton off the edge one more time. Jeremiah Leyburn are on the same page.
Lucky that wasn't a turnover here. The Alouettes hunting for the football in the fourth quarter. 5-man rush. Masoli steps up. Pressure on. Isaac Adeyemi Berglund's not going to let go. And after miscommunication on first down, it's a sack on second. And the comeback put on pause with 12 minutes remaining.
Berglund just getting after it. Watch him do his thing. Boom, great get off. Beats Ruby underneath. Then it's just redirect. Sankey folds underneath, stops Jeremiah, and then Edinemier is right there. Berglund to the miscue.
Leone sends it away. End-over-end kick to James Letcher Jr. Gets to the wall. Got some numbers here. Letcher turns the corner. More bodies out in front. Waits for blocks to develop. Turns on the Jets. Crosses the 40 all the way down to the Ottawa 30-yard line. A monster return for James Letcher Jr. After the big sack by Isaac Adeyemi Berglund, defense being complemented by the return game, and Montreal 21-12 possession next. A 59-yard return for James Letcher Jr. here as he turned and got to the wall, and just about everybody was trying to track him down in red and black, but one after another. It was either a block or it was Letcher outrunning the coverage.
Yeah, just a pursuit angle caught up to Ottawa there. Gary Johnson just let him get the edge, and James Hannibal Letcher just made him pay.
And how about Anthony Gosselin, the fullback, chugging to go and track him down, doing everything he could. That's a long run for the big man as Walter Fletcher in the backfield gets the handoff here. And Bennett Williams tackles him, but not until the 20-yard line. Gain of 8 on first down. Playbook wide open here for the Alouettes on 2nd and 2.
Yeah, and with the pedigree of the Montreal Alouettes, knowing how to win games, both these teams win games, win leading after the third quarter. In fact, Montreal's 8-0. The REDBLACKS 6-0-1, so something's going to break there. But you can almost smell blood in the water, and Montreal attacking here after that big Letcher return.
Billy Dallaire is in the fullback. They'll hand it off inside and go get another first down, but it is a flag flying in from the back. And Mike Wakefield believes that this is going against the Alouettes.
Holding, Montreal, number 53. 10-yard penalty. We'll repeat 2nd down.
So Gagnon has the call go against him in his 9th year out of the Laval Rouge et Or.
Yeah, he's right here, and he's doing well there, and then he kind of hooks him. Yeah, and that was Wakefield who got hooked, and he knows it's coming back. Wakefield beat him across his face and used that rip move, and then Gagnon had no choice but to hang on.
Cole Speaker in his 6 touchdowns this season. Late substitution into the ball game here for the Alouettes on 2nd down and 12. Fajardo looking deep left, pressure on, rips away, steps forward, looks to use his legs, crosses the 25, and is brought down there. Can't get enough for the first down, and out comes the field goal unit.
Yeah, these are two teams going at it right now, and there's where your pressure is going to come from. Ooh-wee. Just right over the top. Right over the top. That's nice.
Yeah, Kenny Onyeka, his 5th year at a Carleton. As Mike Wakefield lost his helmet on that play. His wife and son are here in attendance. MJ probably screaming, "Dad, where's your helmet?"
Yeah. Galatia here, yeah. His parents and Valdosta here.
31-yard field goal attempt coming up for the Alouettes. After the pressure from Ottawa, and Jose Maltos continues a tremendous season. It's the wrestler Selly at the end. Slaps the chest, little flex.
Stay strong.
Jose Maltos makes it a 24-12 ball game. Montreal doubling up the Redblacks. Week Week 16 wraps up tonight, and it's a huge one out in the West. It is the red-hot Edmonton Elks taking on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, who have returned to form. And it's also Trey Ford facing off against twin brother Tyrell. How cool is that? Seeing those two go head-to-head coming up, Edmonton and Winnipeg. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, CFL on TSN. It's great to be with you here.
We, as a crew, will be somewhere, and you better be joining us, Marshall, to watch that game.
Jeremiah Masoli rips it out. Dominique Rhymes puts the shoulder down. Physicality from the big man. And it's a first down on first down for Rhymes, working alongside Justin Hardy, one of the more formidable pairings into the boundary. And Masoli quick out of his hand here.
Yeah, doesn't get much quicker. Again, not sure if he even had the laces, just stuck it on 1-5. Easy pickup. I like that angle. Dom coming right at you. You don't realize how big he is, folks. Big target. Can move, too.
Masoli pumps, looking down the left sideline. Rhymes, double move, and he called it in. Somehow Sutton came over from his halfback spot, but just not enough from 37 to knock it away from Rhymes.
Yeah, and Jeremiah, fakes the hitch, and receivers go one down the rail, one down the seam. Jeremiah pumps it, sticks it on him, just right in front of 3-7, and great concentration by Dominic Rhymes. 2 in a row for 15.
Shadows getting long here at TD Place. Now it's really starting to look like a playoff preview. 12-point ball game. Masoli hands it off. Kalen Leyburn on first down. Solid game. Drew Brown now on the sideline for the Ottawa REDBLACKS, out of his uniform and pads that he started the day with. Ankle injury, and completed 50% of his passes, including a couple of picks early on. And so he sets the second half out here after being replaced in around the 3-minute warning.
Somebody needs to clip that IFB to collar, help him out there.
Masoli checking the blitz at the line of scrimmage. I'll send the heat. Mustafa Johnson hits Masoli into the end zone. Diving and incomplete. Almost had Rhymes. And Jeremiah gets helped up off the turf by Dante Bull as Rhymes gathers himself about 45 yards away in the end zone.
Yeah, Jeremiah is looking for 1-5 once again, 3 in a row. And he just kind of gives it to him and then gets on his horse, and Jeremiah lays it up there. I know that Dominique would like to have that one back. Hit him in his right forearm on the go down. Right here, you can see it. No. Nathan's line got in the way there. But yeah, that's one I'm sure that Dominique would like to have back.
Third down. Here go the REDBLACKS. Out of his hand quickly. Leyburn dropped it. And on third down and a handful, the young back heads back to his bench, shaking his head.
Yeah, it's a tough one right there. And going for 2 earlier in the third quarter, puts you down 9, and they kick a field goal. A field goal doesn't help you there, so it forces you to go for that on third down as opposed to getting a field goal there. But yeah, it's one of those things that comes back to haunt you, those decisions, not taking points early.
And Leyburn knows he should have hung on to it, but a tough catch with Wesley Sutton bearing down. So turnover on downs for the Ottawa REDBLACKS, trailing by 12 midway through the fourth quarter. Flags come up here, whistles. This play never happened.
Typically his movement. Because they're killing the play, so.
Talk about being a playoff preview and special teams and turnovers. Big plays like that will play in, no doubt.
Montreal, number 62. 5-yard penalty. It'll remain first down.
Nick Callender as the call go against him in this spot. The left tackle out of Colorado State.
Yeah, right here. Kind of rocking a little bit. Dead ball foul. Look flat.
Fajardo, long play call in the huddle. Just gets to the line of scrimmage. Taylor Julian Grant to the top of your screen. Over the middle. It's Reggie White. A monster game against the Ottawa REDBLACKS back in June. The only time these two teams had played up until this ball game this afternoon. With Montreal blowing out the REDBLACKS back at Percival Molson Stadium.
Sit down right in front of Cody, right in front of the linebackers. Pick you up half of what you lost on the 5-yard penalty. Looking at second at 7.5. That's the way to do it.
Sense of urgency starting to pick up here, and the crowd can feel it as well. They get into it.
Great crowd,
for their defense. 2nd and 7. Fajardo looks right. Over the top. Complete. Taylor Julian Grant catches it and sits down at the 40.
How does he fit that one in there? I think he's getting hit. The arm gets hit, ball comes out end over end. It's one of those option passes. You have the option to catch it at either end. And here it comes. And just finds its way to Julian Grant. Just what the doctor ordered. Cody muscled that one out there.
Wasn't pretty, but it gets the job done.
Billy Kilmer back in the day. Tom Wilkinson back in the day. Shout out. He taught me the option pass in Edmonton.
In the shadows. Cole Speaker gets a touch, turns down the sideline. And nice pursuit. Justin Howell is in at free safety. Wondered about that with Ty Cranston and Alonzo Adai down. So a gain of 12 here for Cole Speaker. And with 5:11 remaining, the Alouettes offense starting to move the ball and more significantly kill the clock as well, controlling time of possession in this 4th quarter.
Yeah, good to see Speaker getting involved, coming across in motion. ISO fake, get the quarterback on the edge, leverage on the outside of the defense, and finds him for the first down.
Fajardo began this half 1 of 6. He's now completed 6 in a row. He's in a rhythm. Make it. Oh, I was about to say 7.
Who was that?
Went for the screen.
Was that Wakefield? I think that was Wakefield. Flashed his left hand in there after Cody gets drilled trying to stick this in there on a little screen pass. Watch this. This is incredible. Yeah, top of the screen is going to get to Fajardo, but watch Wakefield feather back, and then right there out of the screen, Wakefield gets in there. Good pressure by Leonard Williams.
Look at Mike Wakefield's helmet.
Yeah.
That's playoff football right there.
That guy's a warrior having a game. Love his game. Him, Leon, Lozo, Malden.
Fajardo on a little slant underneath. And once again, Walter Fletcher making his impact felt in the passing attack. It is 3rd down. Byron Archambault, the special teams coordinator for the Montreal Alouettes.
Going to punt it. Yeah, Gary Johnson stepping in there. Nice little move.
Is that a Texas route? Is that an angle? What is that?
Yeah, you call it what you want. Under. Yeah. They just name it. Call it pizza, you know, and it works. Whatever you want to put a name to it, people associated with it.
Well, just like we asked Kalen Leyburn this week, is it LeBourne or Leyburn? And you said, listen, tell me, how do you say your name? So you tell me what that is for you. What is that, right?
Yeah. Call it under.
There you go. Adrian Fry back to return this punt as Byron Archambault's special teams unit. Doing a good job here today. Back out onto the field. This one kicks backwards. And Fry will pick it up.
Really great job of Montreal's cover team there, not taking silly penalty on no yards. That was well covered.
Able to bail their way out of it and avoid penalty yardage as LP Barassa, the long snapper, down in coverage. Jeremiah Masoli trying to craft the comeback. He's only got 3:14 left.
Lefty, Rod Laver, just getting it done.
Played some tennis this week against my soon-to-be 4-year-old son.
And he beat you badly.
I crushed him.
Badly.
Best win I've ever had. No mercy. Sorry, Noah. Happy birthday.
What are y'all doing for his birthday?
Little Bills tailgate, actually.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
Headed to Orchard Park.
That's what you do with your 4-year-old.
Yeah.
Just take him down there to Bills.
Well, we go down there and we watch Jack Armstrong jump off tables. Jump through them and bonfire, make some marshmallows. And Be a great day to go and enjoy the Buffalo Bills, who are off to a great start in their NFL season. Hey, Josh Allen jersey down in front of me.
I'm looking forward to the next game, Edmonton and Winnipeg.
Masoli, 12-point deficit. Looks quick to the right side. Jalen Acklin tried to stab it with one hand. Tyrese Beverett flew out from his linebacker's spot to force the issue, but man, if Jalen doesn't get a hand up, I think that's an interception going the other way.
Yeah, I do too. Oh. Twice on those routes we've seen things go awry for Ottawa. One was a pick six, and that one was just a stab at it, trying to avoid one.
Four-man rush. Masoli steps up in the pocket, looks downfield. Wanted Martin to come back. He doesn't, so Jeremiah heads towards the Ottawa bench. Mustafa Johnson again. The effort from the D tackle all the way to the sideline.
That's the kind of stuff that makes you retire. Guys like that chasing you sideline to sideline and have the ability to catch up to you.
We have hit the 3-minute warning here as Ottawa tries to continue their unbeaten streak at home. The Alouettes looking to extend their road winning streak and their victory streak against these Red Blacks in a major playoff preview in the East Division. Knock them down, drag them out, right to the end of the season. It's been a battle in the East Division, especially here at the top, as Montreal, a couple of losses getting closed in on by the Ottawa Red Blacks for getting hot at the right time. But Hamilton, out of nowhere, challenging Toronto for third in the last playoff spot in the East.
Hamilton and Toronto are loving this game right now. Tighten it up, baby. Tighten it up.
Jacob Ruby popped out of his stance at right tackle. And all of the Alouettes pointing, so they were ready to go with Jeremiah there.
Procedure, Ottawa, number 54. It's a 5-yard penalty, remains third down.
And a handful of Red Blacks fans stand to their feet and head to the parking lots after seeing the procedure call at the end.
Penalties have really hurt. Right tackle, movement. Yeah. That's okay. Jacob Ruby trying to get her done, just a little anxious.
Another great kick from Richie Leone. James Letcher just inside his own 30. Going the same direction. He had the big monster 59-yard return earlier. Would this been be even longer? They set it up the same way and got nearly the exact same result.
And you can see it coming. And it's just incredible because he's got to run from all the way over here, top of the numbers, gets a block there by Antwi, underneath Dubois, still getting an effort, and who takes him down? About 40 yards down the football field. That's, who is that? Moultrie. Just
Onyeka, yeah.
Onyeka, 99. Just getting it done.
Marco Dubois is down for the Ottawa Red Blacks. His little celebration there for James Letcher Jr. and Kabianento. Well earned. Deontay Ruffin with the pick six earlier today. And we mentioned the East Division as well, Matty. The Alouettes' next 3 games, all East Division encounters. 4 of Ottawa's 5 remaining games are as well. So plenty of these interdivision games down the stretch.
Love that schedule, how it's playing out, too. Hamilton catching on fire. Bo Levi Mitchell lighting it up again yesterday. It just looks way more comfortable in the last several weeks. Slinging it just like he's back there playing touch in the backyard, you know. Just
here's a question for you when we're talking about, you know, all-stars and all CFL and so many great players in this matchup and very, very successful teams this year. Could Bo Levi play his way into the MOP conversation?
I think he's doing that right now.
Could he down the stretch if he actually makes a run?
I think he's doing it right now. Yeah. I think he's doing it right now in front of our eyes. And you got to respect that. Yep.
Tyree Adams on the sideline there, having a laugh with Jeremiah Masoli in the quarterback room.
It's funny you bring that up because I was prepping last night and this morning. I was just like, and watching that game, I'm like, he's doing it. He's doing exactly that. Playing with extreme confidence. It's not one person. I mean, where was Tim White last night? He didn't have a big game. Other people stepping up too. They did it with James Butler because Bell was hurt. So Bo's doing it with a different character.
And the man that a lot of people consider to be the MLB front runner, Cody Fajardo, turns around and hands it off. Once again, Walter Fletcher getting another touch. And, you know, it's funny with the MOP because a lot of people think, well, it's just the quarterback that plays for the team that wins the most football games. But I think CFL voters understand the game a little bit better than to just do that.
Yeah, a lot of things go into it over the course of the season. But it's interesting to watch him seize back the reins of that football team.
No doubt. This time Fajardo keeps it up inside. That's the same design of the play that got him banged up earlier on this afternoon, but this time holds on to it. Mike Wakefield makes the play with that art piece of a helmet, I think is what I'm going to go with on that one. Looks like somebody, it's almost like Falarno Rimolade got out and did a little bit of artwork on top of it.
That is special right there.
Great play.
Two guys, I mean, just getting after it.
Timeout, Ottawa.
Down 12, 1:50 on the clock. An effort like that, that's championship football right there. I don't care whether they win or lose. That's what you're looking for, players. And that's Mike, tip of the cap to you. Cleon Lang, tip of the cap to you. Lozo getting after it. Onyeka getting after it.
Wakefield played a little bit of time with the Alouettes a couple of seasons, 22-23, and made his way back into Ottawa. Actually, the last time that the Ottawa REDBLACKS were in the playoffs, 2018, Mike Wakefield was on that club, which gives you a sense for how long it's been. He's journeyed all over the place, played a lot of football, and in that time, Ottawa has not been in the playoffs. In the next minute 50, if they don't get the victory, they'll have to wait to clinch their playoff spot for another day. But they will get the football back with Joseph Zima sending it away. He goes for the little short corner, back dribble kick. It'll turn and spin. And picked up Adrian Fry.
Just excellent location by Zima, just beautiful. Just making that look too easy for his cover team. Nothing there. Wall him off. That's just great special teams coverage and play.
So minute 41, down 12 points, backed up their own 13-yard line here. And Jeremiah Masoli stepping in for Drew Brown has crossed the 200-yard mark despite not playing until halftime. Masoli, all vertical routes, nobody home, all zone defense underneath, and then into the Ottawa bench.
Who's forcing them out of bounds? None other than 94, Mustafa Johnson.
I want to know what his off-season conditioning regimen looks like.
Well,
he must just run sprints at 280 pounds.
You watch Elwell running off the field here, and he's younger.
Mustafa's moving.
He is flying. It's impressive.
Amazing.
What'd you eat before a ball game? Whatever he's eating, I want something.
No kidding.
What'd you eat?
Nothing. Underneath, Nick Mardner. Another catch, ran into a wall right there named Tyrese Beverett.
Brings up 3rd and 2.5. Yeah, I had plain noodles with some butter, 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and two bottles of water.
This is the most 90s pregame meal I've ever heard.
That sat with me, and it worked for me. 2 of them, and a big bowl of pasta and just butter. Couple of things of water, and it worked for me.
And a Fresca at halftime.
No. I never had a Fresca.
Jeffrey Cantona-Arcou to the sideline. Dylan Wynn checks in late here as Masoli throws it out. Justin Hardy gets the first down. 3rd and 1.5. Hardy a little slow onto his feet, but gets picked up by Jalen Acklin.
Yeah. I mean, knowing that's 3rd down.
Oof, and Hardy's actually going to take a knee here.
Yeah, blame him. Well over 100 yards in this ball game. He's right behind league leader in yards.
And take a look at where Justin Hardy got pop maybe just rolled up onto there from Bryce Cosby bringing them down onto the turf. So the leading receiver for the Ottawa REDBLACKS needs a moment.
Right behind Justin McInnes in the yards league. And that is, saw this one coming, you know, needed it. Put on the money. There we go. Look at that. It's quite the race.
So that is live right now for Justin Hardy as he sits just 39 yards in behind Justin McInnes, who's doing an unbelievable job in BC holding on to this stat throughout the year, and having Hollins and McInnes both in there is pretty incredible.
Hollins is really falling off. Bridges is coming on. Bagleton has kind of let up a little bit with a little quarterback uncertainty there in Calgary.
The fact that Bagleton is doing that, though, over a stretch where they have had difficult days with Jake Mayer, and then they switch over to Logan Bonner in the Labor Day rematch, come back to Jake Mayer, still trying to feel things out, go through a tie game. I mean, it's for Reggie to be third in the CFL. That, to me, that just speaks to his quality as a player.
Yeah. The ball was having problems finding him last night. It was, I just like to see guys work through that, you know, and continue to fight, block, do whatever they can in order to help the team win. And most everybody on that board right there do that.
Good to see.
Most everybody.
Yeah, Justin Hardy high up on that board, jogged to the sideline under his own power. So 1st and 10 for Ottawa. Jeremiah Masoli underneath. And will they say this one was caught? Oh, Nick Mardner couldn't dig it out of the turf, so incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
Jeremiah feeling the pressure. Feeling the pressure. Couldn't get enough on it.
Four-man rush. Ottawa looking down the field and off the hands. Should have been intercepted. Coming in to break it up at the end was Andre Miller, turning receiver to defensive back once again here to try and keep this drive alive.
Jeremiah pumped left, never looked right, just turned and threw the ball, anticipating Miller to be down the seam, and he wasn't. And it was just those two guys not being on the same page. That was not a well-executed play at all.
So Jeremiah to the sideline. Bob Dice looks on as it appears the REDBLACKS will lose for the first time here this season.
What's up, Bennett? What's up, Bennett?
Leone sends it away. Fletcher Jr. this time not going to have the monster return that he's been able to pop off a couple of different times. Down that left sideline is helmets come off, and that'll draw some flags as Montreal about to move to 10 straight victories on the road here, and looking forward to seeing what they can do the remainder of this season, specifically, as we said, against the East Division. A 10-game unbeaten streak on the road. When they pack up the bags, they bring their best.
Yeah, you know, that's knowing what has to get done, discipline, staying focused, traveling well, leadership. Yeah, that's how Edmonton got it done, 5 in a row. I mean, we always said we have to win at least half the games on the road, right? And that was always kind of like a goal starting. These guys, they just don't lose on the road. They're so locked in right now.
The thing I find amazing about this for the Montreal Alouettes as they get saluted by their fans that made the trip down from Montreal and all over Quebec, I'm sure, to come and visit and see the Owls at their best and get that 10th straight road victory. Is you look at the teams that were listed in history in the Canadian Football League for consecutive victories on the road. You go back into 77-78, that was Edmonton. Saskatchewan in 69-70.
At the end of the play, we have 2 misconducts on Ottawa number 9, a 10-yard penalty and a 15-yard penalty. Number 9 will be disqualified from the game.
Wow.
So a disqualification here at the end of the ball game. Looks like Damon Webb's day is done, but Winnipeg in 51-52. Calgary 48-49. All these teams played 40, 50 years ago as Antwi gets into it
right over here
with Damon Webb. And throwing the helmet away, that'll have you end your day pretty quickly.
Well, not used to losing in your own backyard. That's going to cost him. Good look at him walking into the dugout there. his day is done.
And Montreal 19-2-1. The last 22 games, postseason included, as victory formation is the call for Jason Moss, and Cody Fajardo battled through. Didn't feel his best at times in this game. Had a couple of stretches where he had difficulty completing passes, but still led the offense. And James Letcher Jr. has learned the ole-oles.
I love the way Fajardo threw the deep ball today. It wasn't as successful as he wanted to be, but he put the fear of that deep ball and stretched that defense and opened up Letcher and himself underneath with their own run game. Yeah, they did what they had to do. They took care of. They were a more disciplined football team than Ottawa was today.
The Alouettes secure the season series over Ottawa thanks to the blowout that they had earlier this season back in June. One win away now for Montreal from clinching first place in the East. As Montreal finds a way here on the CFL on CTV to shut down the Ottawa offense and return to the win column. They've won so many games, as we say, over the last season and a half, really 19-2-1, but had not won a game thanks to 2 losses and a bye week in 26 days. They closed things out with Walter Fletcher contributing as always. And Lorenzo Malden and the Red Blacks defense will have to regroup, get themselves back in the flow of things.
Really impressed with Mustafa Johnson, that defense today. Stats from Mustafa really don't say much, and talk to how well he played. He's registered 2 tackles, 1 quarterback sack, and 2 knockdowns, but his effort and the defense as a whole was outstanding.
The Ford brother battle coming up next for you. CFL on TSN rolls along. For Matt Dunnigan, Kenzie Lalonde, I'm Marshall Ferguson. Thanks for watching.